right. Good evening, friends, and welcome in here in Harrison City as the Latrobe Wildcats roll in under the direction of Coach Tom McIntyre. And that's right, that is former coach Ron Prady on your screen right now as they will take on the Penn Trafford Warriors, joined here with the esteemed Richard Hillwig. Richard, any comments to give about this, you dubbed the Boomer Bowl?
Well, I'm glad to see Boomer. Obviously, it's glad to see he's doing well, too. Obviously, he and Penn Trafford are having a good season so far, but I wish that the Boomer Bowl extended to maybe a bowl around our press box here tonight as far as dealing with the elements tonight. So
that is for sure. We are on the upper deck in the terrace, no windows. It's I won't use what Clark Griswold used in Christmas Vacation, but it's a little chilly up here, Richard. But if our snotsicles start freezing, we will let all the viewers know at home. And once again, welcome in here to the St. Vincent College pregame show on the Wildcat Network. That's right, St. Vincent College, rooted in Benedict values. St. Vincent College turns 1,500 years of tradition into a thriving modern education. Explore diverse academic programs, discover your purpose, and gain the skills to make a lasting impact. Apply now for 2026 or schedule a tour online at stvincent.edu. Well, Richard, and now the time has come. We will close the book here on the 2025 football season for the Latrobe Wildcats. Last week, I wasn't there with you, but I was watching from the comforts of my home. It looked a little hairy, but man, that last 6 minutes, it was exciting to watch.
You weren't kidding, and that's a tough one to swallow last week, especially knowing that the Wildcats had their struggles, but were able to claw back into the last week's game, just to fall short. It was that one hurt a little bit, I think. Last week, Greater Latrobe trailed 14-0 early thanks to 2 touchdown catches by Jaden Stammer, one from 6 yards and one from 78 yards out. And then, after the Greater Latrobe offense stalled near the end of the first quarter, Danny Noonan provided a spark, a 45-yard pick six off of Mason Mitchell to get Greater Latrobe on the board, 14-7. Gateway would answer, though, and what began really a back and forth clash, it seemed like. A 3-yard touchdown run by Julian Dancer made it 20-7. 2 minutes and 11 seconds later, it was Cash Ackhammer, 49 yards, to give the Wildcats back within 6, 20-14. Gateway then went back up by double digits on a Mason Mitchell's 3rd touchdown pass of the half, this time finding Tyree Gowder from 6 yards out, and the lead would be 27-14 at the half. And then there was really nothing. I'll be honest, there was nothing. I was getting a little antsy. I won't lie. No offense really in the third quarter. But that changed in the fourth quarter. Robert Young tackled Julian Dancer for a 3-yard safety with the Gators pinned up against their own goal line. And on the ensuing return, Sawyer Butina broke several tackles down the near sideline. He went 70 yards to the house. Greater Latrobe went from getting potentially 7 on the drive that stalled at the goal line to getting 10 thanks to the Andy Tash 2-point conversion out of the Wildcat, and it was 27-24. And then the Wildcats got the onside kick.
Another surprise onside kick from the Wildcats.
Everything was going the Wildcats' way until it didn't. A 4 and out went the Wildcats after the onside kick, but they got another chance because they stopped the Gators not just on 3rd and 1, but on 4th and inches. 2 measurements, mind you, that the Gators offense had to at least go out and check. Greater Latrobe got it back at their own 43, but again went 4 and out to hold the final score at 27-24 Gateway. The Wildcats were eliminated from playoff contention last week. Greater Latrobe had 7 penalties to Gateway's 5. And then this, as a former player, and I know as a former coach, these stats will irritate you. 5 punts and 6 turnover on downs. Basically 11 punts. That's basically what it is, except the punts.
You lost your field position there.
Right, yeah. So that's a frustrating stat to have, especially in a must-win game. That one hurts, I think. Dom Scarton was 11 of 32 for 137 yards passing. No touchdowns, no interceptions. Cash Ackhammer, 6 rushes for 62 yards and his 49-yard rushing touchdown. Eli Mater, his best receiving night of the season, 5 receptions for 70 yards. But the Greater Latrobe Wildcats were outgained 345 to 259. But believe it or not, they ran 66 plays to Gateway's 58. And I mentioned Andy Tash. He made his season debut. 1 catch for 9 yards, 4 rushes for 9 yards, 7 tackles, 5 solo, and 1 bogus penalty that he got. I don't even want to talk about it. And I think what's also frustrating for the Wildcats here, Jared, is this. If I would have told you that the Wildcats, in the 2-game homestand that they had to end the season at Memorial Stadium, they would win the turnover battle 5-0, you would think they would win, right?
Right.
They lost both games. That's the frustrating part, I think. They now have 15 takeaways on the year, 3 last week, thanks to 2 fumble recoveries, 1 by Dom Angeliquio, 1 by Robert Young. And this is their longest losing streak of 5 games since 2016, when they started 0-9.
So I think it was, I want to say more of the same, but it feels like at least the second half of this season, Richard, that Latrobe has put themselves in positions to be right there on the doorstep. You go back to Woodland Hills when they couldn't convert in the red zone. At Kiski, they had them in 4th and longs, 3rd and longs,
Yep.
just couldn't get off the field though. They're right on the doorstep. And it's like they need just one breakthrough. They needed to break through one time, right? And the results would be a little bit different. But if you want, let's recap, kind of how the season has gone. We'll call it the season of the doorstep, right?
Right. And I think really the season started after the 13-7 win against Franklin Regional. That's really where it started, because you felt like, okay, this is different than last year. You're starting 1-0 in conference play as opposed to 0-1. Your overall record might not be there, but you at least started off on a right foot, playing really good defense, probably the best defense they played all year in that game. And then the result at Armstrong, in which they lost, really not great officiating. I'm just going to say, not great officiating. The Wildcats lost by 3. And then I don't think the scores of these last 4 games really tell the story. I mean, yeah, last week's game against Gateway probably does. It was a close game that could have gone either way. But they hung around with Pine Richland for a half. I think we would both agree on that. I mean, Kiski area, the score does not tell you how close that game was. And Woodland Hills, they hung around for 3 quarters against the top 5 team in 5A. So it's not like, yes, the scores are what the scores are, but it's not like they're that far off, if that makes sense.
Right, and it on the doorstep, but I think that's a building block for this program to continue to grow, right? Your offensive line now, which was young, you've even seen an influx of freshmen, sophomores playing. They are getting experience here, not just tonight, but in the last handful of weeks, to carry this program into next year, take a springboard into the next level. But let's not bury who we got on the field tonight with the Wildcats, and that's the Penn Trafford Warriors.
Yeah, Penn Trafford's going to go back to the playoffs again. It's really been, I think, 6 or 7 years. Their last time they missed was back in 2016. They're in the playoffs for their 29th out of the past 31 seasons. Terrific job that head coach John Ruane has done with the program over his 16 years. So we know 2 teams from the Big East are in the playoffs, Woodland Hills and Penn Trafford. The reason why Penn Trafford's in the playoffs is because they defeated Armstrong last week. They led 35-0 after the 3rd quarter. They ended up defeating Armstrong 42-7. Quarterback Nate Desmond was 5 at 8 for 178 yards and 4 touchdown passes on the night. Tyler Boss, Landon Stickle, Nick Ponko, and Jacob Briggs each had touchdown catches. Nick Ponko added a 50-yard pick 6, and I don't know if you know this last name, but there's a guy named Cody Yakabelli who had a brother named Cade who was really good for the Penn Trafford Warriors. He had 5 rushes for 70 yards, but we're going to hear a lot of him tonight. Nico Cox also added a 9-yard touchdown run for Penn Trafford, and I'll be honest, I think it's the Boomer effect. I really do. I really do. Penn Trafford, think of it this way. The last time that they not only made it far in the playoffs, but they ended up winning championships, Boomer was on the sideline. And because of that, they defeated Moon 24-21 for a WPIAL title back in 2021. They beat Imahop and Charter 17-14 for the PIAA title in 2021. From what I've seen so far, by watching them on film, they're fast, they're physical, they run the football, and they don't hurt themselves. To me, that's a winning recipe for winning in the playoffs. I think, the result against Woodland Hills earlier in the season doesn't look great, but against everyone else, they played pretty well.
Yeah, and we were talking about this. If you look at their schedule, they beat 6A Norwin, right? They beat Moon, close game, but Moon just took care of Upper St. Clair, who was supposed to win the other conference, and Class 5A, they've built a heck of a resume coming in here tonight. I didn't see what happened in the Woodland Hills Penn Trafford game, but it's the eyesore of the schedule for them because I don't understand how that happened. Just watching these guys, like you said, very disciplined. They don't turn the ball over. They love running the ball. They're going to control the line of scrimmage on you, both sides, defensively and offensively. Interested to see how the Wildcats will hang with them here tonight. Back to the run game, you mentioned Cody Yakimelli, who is the sophomore, who has 77 attempts for 625 yards. We kind of buried the lead. Their feature back, if you want to call it, is Ben Grabowski, who he's got 90 attempts for 681 yards. Combined, they both have 19 touchdowns on the ground this year. Oh, and don't forget Cody Yakimelli's got some stats and has done some mop-up duty at the quarterback position here.
To me, it's just really like amazing what they do. And going back to this, I think because we know how good 5A Section 1 is. I think we know that. But I don't think there's really a second team in 5A Section 3. Yeah. So depending on how things go tonight, if the Warriors were to end up to win, that could set themselves up in a good position for seeding tomorrow afternoon when the brackets come out. Unfortunately, we know the Wildcats will not be participating in the playoffs. It's the first time since 2021 that that's the case. But, I think the entire Wildcat community would agree that, we'd like to see Boomer. We would like to see Boomer and the Warriors succeed here moving forward in the playoffs over the next couple of weeks.
And we mentioned the Moon game. If you're looking at resumes, they got the head-to-head win over Moon. If Moon's going to take that fourth bye in 5A classification. Looking at the Big East Conference, we did touch on Penn Trafford is clinched. I think they will be locked in at the 2, and also Woodland Hills is locked in at the 1 with their win over Penn Trafford.
Right.
But there is that third spot still available, and then at least we think one wild card will come out of the Big East. Big game tonight for Kiski. They will play Woodland Hills. Armstrong still has a fighting chance. They will take on Franklin Regional. And Gateway, who's still fighting, will play a non-conference game here tonight. Fighting from the couch, we'll say.
Here's what I'll say on this. Armstrong and Kiski area probably have the best chances just because Kiski area's got the step up on Gateway, knowing that even if they lose tonight, that their conference record would be tied. Gateway did beat Kiski area early in the season, so I think that might matter, but overall record does favor Kiski area if that's the case. Now, if Gateway beats Hempfield, I think you throw out what I just said, because they would both finish, if it's a loss for Kiski area, they both finish with an overall record. Again, I think Armstrong's a wild card here just because if they were to take care of their business tonight against Franklin Regional, which is definitely a possibility and is probably likely that they can do that tonight, they would be 3-3. So you might have a 3-way tie at 3-3. I don't know. That just becomes a whole nother curveball thrown into the equation for the Big East.
And it could be that they get the 2 wild cards.
Yeah.
But that's unlikely. But
Probably.
it's still a chance. I'm going to go and make a bold prediction here tonight. My Big East bold prediction of the week.
Okay.
If there was a Vegas, we'll call it the live casino bet of the week, right?
Okay.
If it was 10.5, Kiski Woody High tonight, I'm taking Kiski with the 10.5 with a chance to win at Kiski. Woody High may sit some guys, although they will have the bye next week. I don't know, that Kiski area team, what they can do athletically through the air, their young people have grown. They're not freshmen anymore. Let's call them sophomores. Yeah. The Woody High game, their team, they're impressive. Don't get me wrong. I'm not discrediting Scoop by any means. But it's Scoop. And I think a more complete team might be Kiski, who might be gelling at the right time, building some momentum. I'm going to take the Kiski Cavaliers in an upset tonight in Leechburg.
I definitely could see that. We saw them in person, and they did not play like a 2-4 team whenever they faced the Wildcats. Landon Artman really stole the show there. And again, we know that Woodland Hills is probably locked into the number 1, knowing that they have the tiebreaker over Penn Trafford. And even if they do lose tonight, they would still be co-section champs. I'm pretty sure that's how that goes, rather than giving its sole possession to Woody High. Again, sole possession to Penn Trafford. And again, the Wildcats may have a say in this as well tonight. So we don't necessarily know. You know Tom better than I do, but I don't think he wants to lose to Ron Brady. I don't think he does. And I don't think Ron Brady wants to lose to Tom McIntyre either. So I get he's not. I get Boomer's
not. It's the
not
pupil versus the student,
and
right?
again, it was like this last year whenever John Ruane came to Memorial Stadium to face Ron Brady. So, I mean, you got back-to-back years of pupil versus, the teacher. So we'll see how the Wildcats factor in tonight. I know talking with Tom McIntyre, we're going to hear from him in just a bit. We're going to see exactly, what the Wildcats are made of tonight, I think, is really a good assessment as to what we might see tonight.
Yeah, Tom's going to have these guys ready to go, that's for sure. And there's going to be a little extra bulletin board material that he's going to use here, I believe, against their old former ball coach. Sorry, my lips are going to get frozen here. The cold might be already hitting me, and we haven't even kicked off yet. But and hey, you know what? Thanks. I'm getting warmed up by Spencer currently. He's rubbing my arms. What's the John Steigerwald commercial? Get some nachos up here. Get some hot chocolate up here for me. No,
don't worry, that's just downstairs.
Yeah. Also, the plush bathrooms.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to talk about those. I mean, I think marble, plastic,
whatever you want to call it. It was dark, so it was dark. You had better vision than me.
But anyhow, I told this story before about my senior night, my last.
Right. We
came in facing the conference leaders and upset them as a 2-win team that night. You get emotions involved, anything can happen. And like we've said, we thought Pine Richland was going to be a bloodbath.
Right.
And it wasn't. They hung with them.
Yeah.
They came to play. They controlled them as much as they could. Contain them, not control. Contain them as much as they could. We talked about this Penn Trafford team being very sound. They're going to try and win the line of scrimmage at you. They're going to try and run the ball. You take away the run, I mean, they can throw. Let's not discredit Nate Desmond and what he can do. But I don't know that they have the athletes on the outside that like a Kiski had that dominated, or a Pine Richland had, or a Woody High had with Scoop. They don't have those types of athletes. They're just a sound football team. Right. If you can disrupt their flow and their rhythm, and they started out slow last week. If you can get them to get a slow start here tonight, maybe the tides could turn a little bit and see what happens.
Well, here's what I will say, that unfortunately for the Wildcats, history is not on their side against the Penn Trafford Warriors, as they have won 13 in a row against the Wildcats. They lead the series 31-4 overall. The last win for the Wildcats was 12-3 back at Greater Latrobe's Memorial Stadium, and it was the first win for the Wildcats since 1994. They have outscored the Wildcats, the Warriors that be, 587-130 in the last 16 games. 16 games. Again, and last year's meeting was one of the closest in recent memory. Tasso Whipple got things started with a 9-yard touchdown run to make it 7-0 Penn Trafford. And then Derek Carr, off of Tasso Whipple deflection, took a 21-yard pick six off of John Wetzel to make it 14-0 at the end of the first quarter. But the Wildcats would answer. Wetzel had a touchdown run to make it 14-7 from 1 yard out. And then PT's Jack Miller knocked in a 34-yard field goal to give Penn Trafford a 17-7 halftime lead. Not much scoring and really offense overall in the second half by either team. Greater Latrobe's lone scorer of the second half came off an Andy Tash 63-yard pick of Johnny Louver to make it 17-13. Jack Miller added one final field goal from 27 yards out, and PT clawed their way to a 20-13 win to end the regular season. The Warriors outgained Greater Latrobe 303-151 in terms of total offense. They ran 63 plays to the Wildcats 37. That needs to change if the Wildcats want to stay in tonight's game. Tasso Whipple was the star of the show. He had 28 rushes for 161 yards and his 9-yard touchdown run. But the story of the night was quarterback John Wetzel. His passing was 5 of 12 for 39 yards, but his rushing was the story there. 14 rushes for 67 yards and 1 touchdown run. He finished the year, he got to 1,000 yards rushing here on the night. He finished the year 11 games last year with 1,076 rushing yards, which is ranked 3rd for single-season rush yards in program history. Oh, by the way, that's ahead of his 2023 stats, by the way. In more games in 2023, in 12 games, in which he outgained his 2023 season by 66 yards.
So the one stat I want to pull away from that there is the Penn Trafford ran 63 plays to Greater Latrobe's 37.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That is what they want to do. That is their recipe. That is their bread and butter. As we said, win the line of scrimmage, slowly matriculating the ball down the field. Will be what they want to do here tonight, and the Wildcats are going to try and throw a wrench in their game plan. But we're going to take a quick break here, and we'll be right back here on the Wildcat Network.
Hi, I'm Chris Beddick, agent for State Farm Insurance, located conveniently on Route 981 here in Latrobe. We proudly offer auto, home, renters, life, and small business insurance since 2001. Need a good neighbor? Chris Beddick is there. Go Wildcats!
Welcome back to the Wildcats Network, as I'm now joined by head coach Tom McIntyre, head of the Wildcats Week 9 game against the Penn Trafford Warriors. And coach, looking back on last week's contest against Gateway, ended up falling short 27-24. But what overall assessments can be taken away from last week's loss? And again, another close loss for you guys.
It was an exciting night. A lot of people I know over the weekend I spoke to just said it was a really entertaining football game to watch, good game to be at, great atmosphere for senior night. And at the end of the day, I hope our seniors take that with them. Another close loss, like you said, and in the second half of the year, we've kind of been on the wrong end of, that situation too many times, more than we'd certainly like to be at. But, it's all a learning experience, and it's all part of growing as a team there, and hopefully being able to put ourselves in position in the future to be on the right side of that. The young guys that are here and being a part of it now, hopefully they can use that experience to help them learn. But, at the end of the day, our seniors, I think they were pretty upset after the game, but then we got back together Saturday morning. Really embraced that it was a great football game and how they battled back and defensively stood their ground, come out and throw a shutout in the second half to, hold our ground and try to give us a chance to get back in. We just weren't able to quite finish it off at the end there. The stand on fourth down by our defense, 3rd and 1, 4th and inches, 2 measurements there in our defense held strong. So really proud of them. Proud of all the seniors too, their last home game. Just like every other week, really left it all out there. So, not the result we wanted, but end of the day, still a memorable night that I think a lot of those guys aren't going to forget anytime soon.
One thing that was evident on Friday for really the first time this year was the ability to get splash plays in all 3 phases of play. Danny Noonan started it with his pick 6, then it was Cash Ackhammer's long touchdown run, and then off of Robert Young's safety, it was Sawyer Butina's return touchdown off the punt. So how much do those big splash plays impact your both offense and defense when they're really trying to struggle getting consistency on both ends?
Yeah, those were huge on Friday. I know when we had a good drive, put a good drive together, get down to the 1 yard line, and we got stuffed right at the goal line. And, it was pretty deflating for us. But fortunately, we came out and just kept playing hard. And, that would have been 7 points for us had we scored and made the extra point. But instead, it turned into a safety and then a return followed by a 2-point conversion. So 7 points turned into 10 points there just, by playing hard. And, we emphasize all year turnovers and special teams. And right there you have it, the pick 6 from Danny, the tackle by Rob for the safety, and then Sawyer, who wasn't even really I don't think he returned once all week last week. It was kind of just like, Sawyer, are you ready to do this? And he said, yeah, and stepped in. And, what a great play he made there. But definitely awesome to see. Anytime you're in a close game like that. And hats off to those guys. They played some great defense, and they made it tough. A couple times I think we moved the ball. We had some good drives we put together, but they made it tough to cap off a drive with 7 points. So, Cash had the long run earlier in the night, but, it's kind of the same philosophy we take. You want to keep making the other team line it up over and over again. You want to ultimately keep them out of the end zone. So, I give them a lot of credit for the job they did there, but, we started getting contributions in other ways through special teams and defense. And that's huge when you're trying to play a good football team like that and you're in a tight game. Anytime you can kind of, that flips everything. Flips the field, flips the scoreboard. Kind of those unexpected plays to be able to hop in and take advantage of. And certainly we'd embrace more of those moving forward for sure.
I imagine there's going to be a strong sense of familiarity this week on both sides of the ball, but also on opposing sidelines this week, as former Wildcat head coach Ron Brady is on the opposing sideline with the Warriors this year. How excited are you and the players for the challenge of not only going against Coach Brady, but also the challenge of playing a good Warriors team on the other side?
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it. And ultimately, that's what it's all about Friday, is our kids getting a chance to go out there and play one more game together against their kids who are having a great season, and they're trying to build momentum for the playoffs. So I think it's going to be two good football teams, and at the end of the day, that's what it's really all about. But certainly, you want to dig deeper into that story. Coach Brady been here the last few years and has a lot of familiarity with these kids, and a lot of them still have a great relationship with him. He's been a role model, mentor for me and for them over the past few years, and I think they want to play their best, certainly knowing that he's going to be watching, and some playful jabs back and forth throughout the week. It's all good and makes it all more, fun atmosphere to be a part of. But him and I go way back. We when I started here about 17 years ago, kind of connected pretty early there, and I've coached against him before when I was here, and he was at Franklin and PT, I think, back then. So it's not our first time being on opposing sidelines, but definitely the first time in a while. So it'll be fun. I'm sure we'll throw some jabs before the game here a little bit, but he's been so good to us and the kids and everything in the program here. And like I said, we've all been in it together to some extent, and tonight we may be on different sidelines, but ultimately I think him and I both just want to see a great football game played between two good teams, and a lot of good kids that we both have really good relationships with.
You guys head out to Harrison City for the final game of the season against the Penn Trafford Warriors. What will you guys have to do in order to end up in the win column and ultimately end the 5-game losing streak to end the season?
I think last week there were so many emotions that kind of went into the week. Some of our seniors delivered their jerseys to teachers that had impacts on them, and then the pregame festivities Friday night. Obviously, it's an emotional time for everybody. And then to kind of bottle all that up and put it aside and play a football game, I know that can be really difficult. And I think you saw at the beginning we got off to a slow start, and I think that was kind of still fresh in a lot of their minds. This Friday, I think it's a little bit different. We know that this is going to be our last game. For some of these guys, it'll be the last time that they ever get an opportunity to do it. So, when you can play loose and you're out there just enjoying the game, enjoying playing football, sometimes I think it eliminates some of the mental things that hold you back sometimes. We focus so much on execution and making the right block and running the right route and everything. And sometimes just being a kid and going out and playing like you're in the backyard, that can really kind of loosen you up a little bit and let you play with some confidence. So hopefully we're able to find that this week and finish the season on a strong note here, a really good Friday night against a great team.
Coach, as always, thank you and best of luck against the Warriors.
Sure thing. Thank you, Richard.
All right, and welcome back here to Penn Trafford Warriors Stadium. As we just heard from Coach Tom McIntyre with your weekly coffee talk, we'll call that, with Coach T. Richard, from what you took away from the interview there, he talked a lot about emotion. Maybe too much emotion last week, maybe dialing that back a little bit this week. What do you think keys to the victory here will be today for the Wildcats?
I think a big key tonight is try to end the season on a high note on offense because, we've touched on it. The offense has struggled at times this year, whether it be trying to score points, whether it be just an overall consistency. I think a good performance tonight by the offense can go a long way. And again, we're going to touch on in the starting lineups. Sophomore, junior, junior, and freshman. So most of these guys on offense are going to be coming back next year. I think that's going to be a big key. And then also keep in mind as well, he talked about emotions for the Wildcats last week. What are the emotions for the Warriors going to be this week as well?
Yeah, very good point. They went through all the pomp and the circumstance this week that the Wildcats went through last week. And just to add on, we touched about the young team, the building blocks. This is where it starts today. Some of these kids that are underclassmen, they got to think, this is where I really started cementing myself, right? as I grow and take this into the off season with them in their weightlifting sets, in their passing camps, and all their different things that they do with their off season workout program. You want to start here and build from that. Richard, if you want to, let's get you our tonight's starting lineups for the evening.
Yeah, tonight's starting lineups are brought to you by Maine's Chiropractic. Looking for professional chiropractic and wellness care? Maine's Chiropractic, with offices in Greensburg and Homer City, offers full preventive sports and occupational services for patients of all ages. Call 724-834-4688 today. Setting the stage for the road team tonight, the Greater Latrobe Wildcats, coming into their final game of the season with a 2-7 record overall and a 1-4 Big East Conference record. They averaged 204 total yards of offense, with 106 rushing and 98 passing, and 15 points per game. Their offensive play caller is Josh Hammock, and they're led at the helm by first-year head coach Tom McIntyre, who's 2-7 overall and at Greater Latrobe. Tonight's his first matchup against the Penn Trafford Warriors, and he replaces his predecessor, Ron Prady, who's tied for 6th all-time in wins in program history. A win tonight for T-Mac would move him into sole possession of 21st among the Greater Latrobe coaching leaderboard. And with that, his offense sets like this. Sophomore Gavin Owens gets the start at left tackle with junior Brady Cronenwetter at left guard, and sophomore Vinny Calabrese at center. Senior Lucas Collins gets the start at right guard, with freshman Mason Munchinsky at right tackle. Senior Rob Young gets the start at tight end, with sophomore Aaron Gasky at the H-back position. The wide receivers are 6'3" senior Danny Noonan, 6' senior Sawyer Butina, and 5'9" junior Eli Meter. The running back is senior Chris Cochran, and at quarterback for the Wildcats, it is 6'3" junior Dom Scarton. Got to take my gloves off here for a minute here, Jared. The Penn Trafford defense gives up 20 points per game this year, and their defense sets like this. Senior Aiden Toth gets the start at defensive tackle, with the defensive ends being senior Jacob Briggs and junior Aiden Corbett. The outside linebackers are both juniors in Trent Brown and Landon Stickle, with the inside linebackers being seniors Jamison Yurt and Luca Butler. The cornerbacks are senior Ben Leonard and senior Tyler Voss. And rounding out the Penn Trafford defense, at free safety, it is junior Nick Ponko. And at strong safety, it is senior Colton Taberski. The Penn Trafford Warriors come into tonight with an 8-1 overall record and a 4-1 Big East Conference record. They average 26 points per game, and they're led at the helm by 16th-year head coach John Ruway, who is 150-47 as the Warriors head coach. He's a perfect 13-0 against the Wildcats, and his offense sets like this. Aiden Corbett gets the start at left tackle, with junior Travis Moorhead at left guard and senior Bryce Ruby at center. Senior David Isaac gets the start at right guard, with senior Luca Butler at right tackle. Senior Jacob Briggs gets the start at tight end, with the H-back being junior Landon Stickle. The wide receivers are 5'10" senior Tyler Voss, 5'10" senior Colton Tyberski, and 6'2" junior Nick Ponko. The running back is 6' junior Ben Grabowski, and at quarterback for the Warriors, we'll primarily see Nate Desmond in passing situations, but again, we may see Cody Iacomelli in running situations. The Greater Latrobe defense gives up 306 yards per game and 28 points per game, with 154 yards against rushing and 152 yards against passing. Their defensive play caller is Luke Heiser, and their defense sets like this. Junior Dylan Miller starts at defensive tackle, with the defensive ends being senior Wade Enoch and sophomore Aaron Gasky. The outside linebackers are sophomore Dom Angelichio and senior Chris Cochran, with the inside linebackers being a pair of seniors in Cash Ackhammer and Izzy McMahon. The corners are 6'3" senior Danny Noonan and 6' junior Tristan Letty. And rounding out the Greater Latrobe defense at free safety, it is junior Clayton Burkett, and at strong safety, it is senior Sawyer Butina. And once again, those are tonight's starting lineups. They're brought to you by Maine's Chiropractic. Fry Farm Road between Latrobe and Greensburg. There is a difference among chiropractors. See the difference that Drs. Tom and David Maines can make for you at Maine's Chiropractic. Jared?
All right, thank you, Richard, for the starting lineups. And while you were reading the starting lineups, we are getting ready for kickoff here from Harrison City. The Penn Trafford Warriors have won the toss, elected to receive, and Mitch Horner will get ready to kick it off for the Wildcats. The Wildcats tonight dressed in their white jerseys, black letters, orange trim, black pants, orange and white trim, black helmets. They will be coming from right to left on your screen. And for the Penn Trafford Warriors, it will be their traditional green jerseys, yellow pants, green helmets. And we are underway here. And he is taking the kick up over the 40 to the 50 He's going. He's still on his feet past the 30. Makes a move, and he will be brought down at the 20-yard line. That is a big return and a great start for number 5. We talked about him, Cody Yakimelli, on the return. And Penn Trafford will start with great field position here to begin the game in the first quarter, Richard.
They're going to start at the Greater Latrobe 19 on about, I would say about, we'll gauge it here, it's about 70 yards on the return, 75 yards. First and 10 Warriors, they're already in the red zone here.
Yeah, already in the red zone, and Nate Desmond will go to gun. He will give it off, and he will find a hole to the outside, and the big bruising Ben Grabowski will take it down inside the 5-yard line to the 4, picking up a Penn Trafford first down. Not a good start here for the Wildcats on defense. Just running with ease, Mr. Grabowski was. 16
yards there on the play for Grabowski, first and goal. Boomer Brady did stop up here. He's in the booth tonight for the Warriors. He said, you know, the Wildcats want to beat the Warriors here tonight. They got to find a way to do that.
And Desmond takes the snap on a quarterback draw, and he will find the end zone with 11:09 left in the first quarter. Penn Trafford is on the board with the first score, 6-0 against the Wildcats, as they will line up for the point after attempt.
You're going to see here on the Team Labonte Realty One Group replay, believe here, and it doesn't look like it. It's
simple. Back to the first down.
Yeah, that was just a simple quarterback power there by Desmond, right up the middle. Good block there by Zach Ruby and Isaac. That's the point after attempt.
Desmond holds, and the kick is up by Jack Miller, as Penn Trafford will take a 7-0 lead here. Here's our replay.
Okay, here's the first down play here real quick. We're going to keep it here on the Wildcats Network. Just a simple outside zone there, where I think the one thing about Ben Grabowski is that his burst speed is really evident there. But again, that was all set up by the big return by Cody Yakimelli, setting them up inside the red zone here. We'll stay here.
We'll stay here, yeah. And Richard, we didn't have a chance. Everything happened so quickly there.
Right.
To let you know that our first quarter here tonight is brought to you by Adolphi. Adolphi is one of Pennsylvania's leading nonprofits serving at-risk youth and their families with programs from foster care to mental health support in over 30 counties. Adolphi transforms lives every day. Step up, make a difference, and help a child feel safe, cherished, and supported. Become a foster parent with Adolphi, because every child deserves a brighter future. Adolphi here, your first quarter sponsor on the Wildcat Network. As the Wildcats will get ready to receive their first possession of the evening, it will be Sawyer Butina who will take the kick. Big return last week, and he will be dropped just shy of the 25-yard line at about the 24, as the Wildcats will take over possession here early in the first quarter.
So pretty much where Penn Trafford started their drive, the Wildcats are going to start a few yards forward. Going to have to go a long way here. 2 plays, 19 yards on that drive for the Warriors.
Dom Scarton will start the offense here tonight for the Wildcats. He will drop back to pass, and he will float one across the middle to an open Eli Meter, but he just missed and overthrows him, bringing up a second down for the Wildcats. Had a huge opportunity there, Richard, but just out of the hands of Meter as the pass was over his head.
Yeah, that's one of those where that might sum up the Wildcats season there. Really just a little bit more less on that by Dom, and that's a big play there for the Wildcats.
I mean, there wasn't anyone within 20 yards.
And Eli Meter might have scored on that play.
And the handoff given to Cochran there as he will take it up over the 25.
It's going to be about 3 yards there for Chris Cochran, and it'll set up a 3rd and 7 for the Wildcats.
We talked about owning that line of scrimmage. Obviously, it didn't happen on the first drive for Penn Trafford. But a little bit of a hole there, getting some momentum moving. Obviously, on that pass play, there was enough time. Dom had time to find Eli.
Right.
As we'll bring up 3rd down here. And Dom will come in. I believe that's Ackhammer Meter is out into the flat, and he will drop through, but the throw will sail over Meter's head once again, bringing up a 4th down for the Wildcats, and the punt team will be entering the gridiron here, Richard.
We've seen over the course of the last month, really, that the Wildcats have really liked what Eli Meter can do as a receiver out of the backfield. And I don't know if we mentioned this and within kind of touching it on the starting lineups, but the Wildcats are without Andy Tash tonight. He's sitting out. Obviously, it's kind of a precautionary. What we were told is that didn't want to aggravate too much with his hip injury from last week. So obviously, knowing that playoffs aren't an option, that the Wildcats are sitting him tonight as the fair catch is made at about the 46-yard line there.
Yeah, a little different from what we've seen. You mentioned Eli Meter coming out. They've been trying to get him out of the backfield into the flat, getting him in space. That's where they've found some success, getting Eli Meter into space. That there was more of a Texas route that he kind of came out of the backfield, cut in field, but Dom Scarton just couldn't find him. I would say this. I'm always the half-glass full guy. I saw some positives there. I mean, 2 opportunities there to move the ball through the air. Just find those receivers. As Penn Trafford will take over on 1st down, and Desmond will keep it again. He will gain about 3 there, bring up a 2nd down on the option read.
That was Cody Yakimelli there. So we're in a bird's nest, it seems like, here tonight. Not just a bird's nest, a cold bird's nest. Gain of 3 there for Yakimelli, sets up a 2nd and 7.
To try and give everyone, think of a big refrigerator, and what's the coldest part of a refrigerator? The freezer, which is on top.
Yep.
And that's where we're at here this evening.
And not just the freezer, the back of the freezer.
In the corner of the freezer. As Desmond will hand off on a jet sweep, but the Wildcats will stuff him there. And I believe that will be a loss of 1 maybe. On the play, the officials are walking it back. Will be. That'll bring up a 3rd down for the Wildcat defense.
Yeah, here you go. The Wildcats have Penn Trafford in 3rd and long here. 3rd and about 8, I think, is what it's going to be set up as here. Again, what's plagued the Wildcats over the course of really much the last month has been the really inability to get stops whenever you're in 3rd. They've been in 3rd and longs. See if that changes tonight here. I know, this is a game you kind of get up for. Try and see if you can get a little bit of juice on defense here.
Desmond empty set, and he fires across the middle, and it'll be picked. And that is Ackhammer on the pick for the Wildcats. What a huge play to come up there for the Wildcats defense. We're going to go to the Team Lamonti replay. Here it is. Nate Desmond drops back.
He was looking for Nick Ponko right here, and Cash Ackhammer reads it beautifully there. Able to secure it right to his chest, down at the 44-yard line of the Wildcats. And it is a 1st down, Greater Latrobe.
Great read.
Yeah, and they're set up in great position here.
Great read by Cash Ackhammer there. To make that play. That was Ponko, who is Nate Desmond's favorite little toy on the outside for the Warriors. As Scarton will come in, he will play action to the outside 2 Meter. He will pick up about 4 or 5 on the play, bringing up a 2nd down. Coach Tom McIntyre decides he's going to air it out a little here against the Warriors here tonight.
I'll say this. I think Eli Meter's taken a really big step within the offense as of the past 2 weeks. He was the leading receiver last week. We mentioned 5 catches for 70 yards, his best receiving game of the season here. But also to mention here, he's the Wildcats' 2nd leading receiver coming into tonight. He's got 15 catches for 181 yards. See if maybe Meter could find the end zone here for the first time this
Pistol
season.
Formation. He will hand off to Ackhammer, who will be dropped for a loss. A little slip there as he tried to cut back inside on that zone run. That'll bring up a 3rd and long here for the Wildcats, almost back to the original line of scrimmage. A 3rd and 10, 3rd and 9.
And again, another step backwards for the Wildcat offense here, trying to, again, one of the keys that I mentioned was trying to end the season on a positive note.
Danny Noonan to the bottom of your screen. Scarton drops. He fires across the middle, just out of the reach of defender and a lot of traffic. Eli Meter drawing some double coverage now after his wide open first down play and then making some plays here to move the ball a little bit for the Wildcats. But it'll bring up a 4th down.
I actually think that might have been tipped by Luca Butler there. I don't necessarily... Hard to tell the number on that one, but I think I saw 5 there, so we're going to assume that Luca Butler was in on the mix there.
And Mitch Horner will be back to kick away to the Warriors. The ball is away. Ooh, a little miscommunication, but the Wildcats will get there and drop him down at the 25-yard line. I thought we were going to... Nobody called that one for the Warriors, and we may have had a little oopsies, but they pulled it off.
I was in conversation with head coach John Ruane this week, and he said that the one thing to keep an eye out for with the Warriors this year, and it was evident on the film that I watched, their linebacker play is really good. Obviously with the 2 seniors in the inside with Yurt and Butler, but also Landon Stickle and Trent Brown also make plays on the outside edge as well. And you know, it's a really good group that they have, and it's one that really sticks out as far as generating big plays.
Desmond in, and he will hand off, and that is the big bruising Ben Grabowski, who will take it up over the 31 for a gain of 5 for the Warriors, and will bring up 2nd down.
So again, the Wildcat defense was able to get a good amount of stands last week and a good amount of stops last week. It was just the offense was kind of struggling picking them up a week ago.
And
defense is going to need to step up here again tonight.
Giacomelli will enter the game in an empty set. I don't know if you want to call this empty set or Wildcat. Man in motion, Giacomelli will keep, and it will be bottled out. Chris Cochran keeps the containment, allowing Russell Fry to step in and make the tackle for the Wildcats, bringing up a 3rd and 4.
I mean, you touched on it, Jared. The good contain, the good bounce out there by Chris Cochran, and Russell Fry able there to pretty much clean it up there, and it will be 3rd and 4 there. Just a 1-yard gain for Giacomelli.
With Giacomelli playing, we'll call it mop-up, backup quarterback duty, he only has 14 pass attempts in that formation. As Desmond that is Giacomelli, he will keep, and he will find his way across the first down marker, and that will bring up a new set of downs for the Warriors at about the 40-yard line.
That's an 8-yard gain there. Again, another just pretty much quarterback power. We saw it first from Desmond, seen it there from Giacomelli on back-to-back plays. I would think that's a Wildcat more. It's a Wildcat / QB power, I think, is what we're going to go with here tonight.
Yeah, and I haven't really seen Giacomelli in as a tailback, if you want to call it. He's mostly majority played this Wildcat, as Grabowski will motion out into the out, a little dump pass, and fighting forward for only gain about 2.
We landed Stickle on the catch there for the Warriors. Trying to set up a little screen there, but Dylan Miller didn't bite on that. Able to contain him right at the line and then clean him up at the 43.
It was a great job of not over-pursuing on the screen, letting Stickle get behind you. They read it and made the adjustment in their pass rush, stayed in the lane to limit the Warriors to just a gain of 2. As the Warriors take over, Desmond will hand off to Grabowski. He will find a hole in a seam. He will take it up, and he is still on his feet, being chased down by Chris Cochran. He will be brought down at the 11-yard line. That was a gain about 42, I believe, on the play for Grabowski, setting up the Warriors in the red zone with a 1st down.
It's going to be marked down at about the 13-yard line there.
Good hustle play there by Chris Cochran, staying with him and chasing him down to bring him down, saving the touchdown, giving the old adage, defend every blade of grass, from Coach McIntyre. Desmond will hand off, and he will give it to Grabowski, who will be stood up I don't think he even got back to the initial line of scrimmage there, bring up a second down. Great push there by the Wildcat front four.
I think he is going to get about just a 1 yard gain that time. Bring up second down, and actually I stand corrected. It will be about second and a long 9, I think is what they're going to call it.
And Yakimelli will come in as the quarterback. They will motion Ponko. He will take the ball, another quarterback dive, we'll call that. And he will gain about 4 yards. Interesting that they can, like I said, there's been no threat of a pass on these plays. Now, that could come if you start stopping it, right?
Right.
But I wouldn't even call it a quarterback draw. It's not an RPO. He is just diving, quarterback dive. Whether you want to call him a running back or a quarterback.
Right. So here's an interesting decision here as to, obviously, these goal-to-go situations are tough. They can still get a first down, but the yardage disparity to get that first down is very minimal.
Desmond in. He will fire across. He will find Nick Ponko for another Penn Trafford touchdown, making it 13 for the Warriors. The Wildcats yet to score with 2:32 left in the first quarter.
We're going to see here on the Team Lamonti Realty One Group replay. I don't know, from up here in the beautiful bird's nest, I don't know how Chris Cochran did not get a hand on this here. Watch this right here, just over his hand and just out of his reach. Right, it looked like it just missed the side of his hand there.
He took his eyes off looking into the flat there as the kick was up and good by Miller. We will go to a commercial break and we'll come back and talk about that play one more time here. You're watching on the Wildcat Network.
I am the swiftest creature alive. I can make it. I will make it.
That's where we come in. The Collision Shop by Jason Mignon is your one-stop shop for all things auto body repair. Our experienced technicians and state-of-the-art facilities have you covered. Body repairs, refinishing, glass replacement, and more. Our friendly office staff is happy to assist you through every step of your vehicle's repair process. Visit thecollisionshopbyjason.com for our complete list of services.
Let's take a look at this one more time here on the Team Lamonti replay. Different angle. And there's, oh man, right. It was inches. But if you look at Cochran, he looked into the flat for some reason. I'm not saying he lost his focus, but if he doesn't look into the flat there, he may have more focus on Desmond.
Right.
Where he may be able to come down with that. We know he loves sticking those big bear paws up and snagging balls like that. As Penn Trafford kicks off, the Wildcats will receive and take it to about the 18-yard line. Well, they will begin their third possession here this evening. That was Eli Meter on the return.
It's going to be actually going to give him, I think, forward progress at the 21 there. But going back to that play that Chris Cochran almost had, it was just inches away from the right side of his hand, because I think if he even gets like the side of his hand, not even necessarily a fingertip on it, it's at least incomplete, I think, there. So inches away there, but that's kind of the benefit of the quarterback power, where you kind of have to look in the flat to see where he's going.
Low snap to Scarton. He will give to Cochran, and Cochran will take that for about a gain of 2. Not a lot of movement by the front, the guys in the trenches in white here on the offensive side of the ball, getting a run game going. The little glimpses, I guess we'll say, of some positive offense have come through the air, potential through the air, I should say.
Again, you know you have your hands full tonight, knowing that you got 6'5", 6'1", 6'2", 6 foot, 6 foot. It's a challenge for a young offensive line, especially going up against an experienced team like Penn Trafford.
Scarton will give off. give the handoff off, and I believe that was back to Cochran once again, as he will be stopped for about no gain. A gain of 2 they're going to give him. Bringing up a third down, 3rd and long situation. Now you've got to go through the air, and the defense is going to be waiting on this one. But we'll see. Watch Eli Meter, where he lines up. Will he be? He will go in the slot here. We'll go empty set. Danny Noonan down to the bottom of your screen. Scarton will take the snap. He will look downfield, looking at Danny Noonan right through his hands. Throw was a little behind. He had to make an adjustment, and he just couldn't come down with it with the defender on his back there.
It's the 3rd straight 3-and-out for the Wildcat offense here, and it's just like we touched on, just it's there. It just hasn't been going the Wildcats' way here over the past couple of weeks as far as those plays. And again, needing help from your defense here through the Wildcat offense.
The defense did step up, made that interception, and the ball's away from Mitch Horner. We're taken by, nice drop down there on the coverage.
That is Dante Duragon.
Duragon is flying down on the gunner position, making that stop, allowing no return for the Warriors.
Let's get a replay on this here. This is every special teams coach's dream from a gunner. I'm going to take a bet here. Watch this right here. I mean, just enough.
Yep.
Great play there by Dante Duragon.
And that'll bring the Warriors to start this possession from their own 40-yard line. It'll be Desmond back. He will hand off on a jet sweep and double reverse. And then he's found the corner. The Wildcats are chasing him down, but he's still on his feet, and he cuts it in before he'll be dropped down right around the 31-yard line into Wildcat territory. A double reverse there for the Warriors.
That is Nico Casadio with a big gain there for the Warriors. It's about 29 yards. That play by Casadio.
Out of the gate when he hit that corner, I thought he was going to take it even further than where he ended up getting. Good pursuit by the Wildcat defense to bring him down and eliminate another score for the Warriors here. As we start with first down, it will be Yakimelli in a quarterback. He shovel passes into that. Believe that was Stickle. No, sorry, not Stickle.
That was Jamison Yurt.
Jamison Yurt on the carry.
I think we have a Warrior slow to get up here. It was Yurt on the play here, so I think we'll take a timeout here on the Wildcats Network. And that is the end of the first quarter, mind you. My apologies. 14-0 Warriors is the score here on the Wildcats Network. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Jason Brinker. This is my wife, Hannah Brinker, our daughter, Charlotte, and our son, Stephen.
And we welcome you to Lopatich Brinker Funeral Home.
Located on the corner of Weldon Street and Lincoln Avenue, we've been family-owned and operated and serving Latrobe and beyond since 1958. Whether you're pre-planning your own arrangements or celebrating a loved one's life well lived, we offer traditional and green burials, cremation, and aftercare services. Allow our family to walk with yours on one of life's most difficult journeys. We are most appreciative of your trust, and we will do our best to prove that we are where dignity prevails.
All right, and welcome back here to Harrison City. And through one quarter, it is the Penn Trafford Warriors 14, Greater Latrobe Wildcats yet to find the scoreboard, as the Warriors will take over with a second and about 8 from the Wildcat 28-yard line. All in all, there were some positives there in the first quarter. The turnover. You just got to do a better, consistent job of winning the line of scrimmage if you're the Wildcats. As Yakimelli will be in a quarterback, Ponko will go in motion. He will hand off to Grabowski, who will find the edge and be brought down. I believe that will be enough for the first down. We'll see what the mark is.
Yeah, we got a penalty flag at about the 28-yard line. I believe that's a hold against the Warriors, and so back it up 10 yards. So it goes from what would have been a first down to a 10-yard penalty. Okay, so yeah.
Yep.
I've actually gotten one right here over the weeks here, so.
Well, you be my flag spotter, because I missed that when I was watching the ball carrier.
The perks of the bird's nest.
And it will be Yakimelli who stays in at quarterback. We've got to get a name for this. I don't think we can call it a Wildcat. I think it's a quarterback at this point. But he will be empty set again. I'm sorry, that is Desmond who is in, and he will run the quarterback dive. He will get back almost to the original line of scrimmage. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11. And we've found the Warriors in a 3rd and long here in Harrison City, Richard.
Big down here for the Wildcat defense, trying to at least. I doubt that Penn Trafford's going to go with a field goal for Jack Miller, but we shall see. If the Wildcats can at least stop them here on 4th down and make it at least 4th and medium, give them the decision to maybe kick it or go for it. But again, the goal here should be to stop them here on 3rd down.
And Desmond will motion his running back Grabowski out. He will step back and he will look downfield. And he will throw behind his wide open receiver. And that's going to bring up a 4th and long. Interesting to see what Coach Ruane will decide to do here on his 4th and long. And it looks like he's going to leave his offense out on the field.
I think they are going to bring Jack Miller. They're going to bring Jack Miller out. Nate Desmond is the holder for the Warriors. It's going to be a 48-yarder, I believe. Either 48 or a 49-yarder.
Who will line at 39?
It's a 49-yarder.
49-yard field goal by the Warrior attempt. There's the snap. It's down. The kick is up, but I don't think it's going to have the legs, and it will be well short as the Wildcats will take over on downs at their own 39-yard line.
And that incompletion by Nate Desmond becomes very critical, because if the Warriors would have gotten something on that, I have a feeling that they probably would have gone for it. Try and see what Jack Miller's range is. Maybe later in the game, need a field goal. Kind of test it, see the parameters of it. That time, the Wildcats were able to get the force on the missed field goal. They're going to get it 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line here.
Well, I will say up here in our luxury skybox that we're in, we are shielded from the wind. There does seem to be a little brisk breeze that was blowing in the way of Mr. Miller as he tried to kick that field goal for the Warriors. As Scarton will hand off to Ackhammer. He will gain about 6 or 7 there. First real nice hole. Oh, that was not. That was
Dante Duragon
making the run. Nice pickup for the Wildcats on a 1st down. We have 2nd and 5. You want to keep the ball moving. You want to keep moving the football, keep moving the sticks, find some rhythm, and I think that's what the Wildcats need to do here. As he will take the snap.
How about this?
That's Duragon again, right?
Yeah, that's...
And he will be bottled up before trying to find the line of scrimmage again.
So interesting, Jared, here. The Wildcats have gone... They started last week with Power Tash. Obviously, with Andy Tash not playing tonight.
Right.
Power Duragon is what that play was there.
Okay.
It's about a 2-yard gain there for Dante. 2 or 3 yards there. Officially where they mark it, it's a 3-yard gain there.
And Dom Scarton will check back in on the 3rd down. Duragon will come in and dot his pistol. Trips down to the right. Scarton takes the handoff, hands to Duragon. He will find a little seam, and the Powell may push him all the way over, and it will. It'll push him up over the first down marker, and that's a first down for the Cats.
Well, the first down of the game comes via Dante Duragan. I like the way that he's running here tonight, and I like the way that he's ran pretty much all year. Getting that little bit of juice from the backfield there, and that's really critical. Talking about getting consistency here on offense, that'll be key.
As the Wildcats take over with first down here, Durgan will stay in. We will go to the right, motion left. Durgan will find another seam. He'll gain about 3 or 4. They're finding a rhythm here with Dante Durgan.
And they're running behind that left side of the offensive line, behind Gammon Owens, behind Brady Cronenwetter and Vinny Calabrese. I think you're seeing a little bit of a glimpse of the future here from the Wildcats here.
Sorry, I was reaching over there. I was trying to find out. Dante Durgan, a freshman. So, like you, I was just going to make that point. Stepping stones of the future for the Wildcats. Dante Durgan breathing some life into this Wildcat offense, and he will find another hole, and he will take it all the way. Well, I shouldn't say all the way. He's up over the 20 to the 30. And he will be knocked out of bounds at about the 12-yard line. Dante Durgan is having himself a first half here in Harrison City.
Well, how about that? See this here on the Team Lamonti Realty One Group replay.
A nice hole, nice seam.
Yeah, cutting through that seam right there.
Good vision. Nice block by Kolnick downfield. And that sprung him loose. And Durgan will take it again, but this time they will stop him up around the line of scrimmage.
There are a lot of things going on here. I'm trying to do math, and Dante Durgan's breaking runs here on the play there. That was a gain of 49, by the way, on that big play. Gain of nothing there, and it's second down, yeah. I know, Spencer, I know. There's a lot going on. Look, I'll blame it on the cold.
Yeah. Durgan will stay in. And I think Ty Wisniewski will check in, and he will hand to Durgan. And he will move forward a little bit there for a gain of 2. Bringing up a third down. And about 7 for the Wildcats. See what formation they want to come out with. Durgan has been running. Well, he ran the one Wildcat. Ty Wisniewski came in on that play there as the quarterback. Dom Scarton will check back in. Durgan will be his mate behind him. Butina in the H-back. Scarton will throw. Little push off there by looked like the Warrior defender to Danny Noonan as the ball will fall incomplete. Let's take a quick look at that one more time. Let's see what kind of. He had him on the inside there. You can see. It looked clean.
Yeah, I
didn't see any pull.
I didn't see any pull either there. It looked close.
But this will be a big fourth down here for the Wildcats. As they do have a chance to get a first down here. They don't need to go all the way to the end zone. On a 4th and 7, Scarton in. And he will drop back and he will find, I believe that we had a face mask there, but he will be brought down by a slew of Warriors. And that will turn the ball over on downs as the Warriors will take over. I don't see any flags on the field. But let's look at that one more time. It looked like his head got turned by a potential face mask.
Let's see here. There comes Stickle off the edge there.
Right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
not the mask, but the side. It was the side of the helmet there. I'll say this, if I was quarterback, I would have loved to get that call.
The Warriors will take over at their own 19 to begin this drive. And it will be, I believe that was Yakimel. He finds a man wide open, but he will not be able to connect.
I think that was Ben Grabowski that was taking the kind of like a reverse here, I think is what. Yeah, that was Grabowski.
Okay, Grabowski did throw it.
Yeah, just out of the reach there of Casadio. Just a football's length away.
You know, when you get Grabowski with the ball in his hands, you're on pursuit drill to him, right?
Right.
You suck your defense in, and that allows that. Nice throw. And Yakimelli will keep, and he will find his way for a gain of 8. I believe that'll bring up 3rd down and 2. Another chance, though, for the Wildcats to get off the field here if they can make a big play.
And they put the Warriors in these spots to limit plays, especially here on 3rd downs. Got a big 3rd down stop last time to force the field goal miss. Just with 5:30 left here in the first half.
Yakimelli looks like he will be checking in. For the Wildcats, you want to make sure you tighten up all those gaps with him. He seems to be dives, but you got to watch. There's big Grabowski in the backfield.
And I think we got a timeout by John Ruane here. So with the timeout here, let's mention one of our sponsors here, the Alamo Restaurant Group. The owners of your local McDonald's at Mount Laurel Plaza and Lincoln Avenue are now hiring. Stop by either location to pick up an application or apply online anytime at jobs.mchire.com. Join their team today and start your career with McDonald's.
With 5:16 remaining here in the second quarter, there's obviously the opening kickoff, put the Warriors in a very short field position. But the Wildcats have done well getting off the field in some crucial situations. You hope that they do it again here and force the Warriors to punt and give you the ball back.
Yeah, I'll just say it's been really, apart from that short field 2-play drive, it's been one long drive that the Warriors had, and that's it. The interception on another drive, a field goal miss on their most recent drive, and if the Wildcats can come up with a stop here, maybe a loss or just an incompletion, relatively not getting past these 2 yards, you have another decision to make if you're John Ruane about, do you go for it or do you punt it back to the Wildcats knowing that your defense has played well either. So again, I think the Wildcat defense, apart from really the first drive, they played relatively well.
And there goes Yakimelli on the keeper. He's going to find it close to the... I
don't think he got there.
I don't think he did either. He's going to find it close to the 1st down marker as he will be stood up.
He's a yard short.
Yeah. Well, it's going to bring up a 4th down. Coach Ruane looks like he's going to go here. They're going to let their big boys do their talking for him as Yakimelli will come in. It looks like he will quarterback this unit on the field for the Warriors. 4th and 1 from their own 29.
Blaze Burrow, 6'3", tight end, is in the game for the Warriors.
Honko comes in motion. They will hand off to the big Grabowski, who will be stopped and brought down on a turnover downs. The Wildcats hold again. Let's go back to the Lamani replay here.
Watch this play here. I believe we're going to get a good jump on this left side of the Wildcat defense here. And it was Cash Hackhammer who just found a seam. It was great job by Wade Enoch and Dylan Miller on that side there to force more Warriors than Wildcats in that area. And even if he was able to break the Hackhammer tackle, no way he's getting away from Ty Wisniewski. It is 1st and 10 Wildcats at the Warriors 25.
And Scarton will take the snap and he will float one into the end zone. Oh, there might be some laundry coming. No.
There is a flag on that play.
The yellow on yellow is getting me. But I believe we will find a pass interference here, call on the Warriors. And we will. We'll look at it again as Scarton lobs one in.
Yeah, just twisting Sawyer Butina there.
Yeah, he was all over him.
That one was Taberski making that play there. And it's a half the distance to the goal here.
That'll reset the downs. Half the distance, Scarton in. Dante will see if he can continue his momentum he had from the last drive, and he will take it again. He will find a seam, and he will find pay dirt. Touchdown, Cats, as they find the board and get on the scoreboard. It's 14-6 here in Harrison City.
You're going to see here on the Team Lamani Realty One Group replay again, running behind the left side of Cronenwetter and Owens. Good block there by Vinny Calabrese as well, downfield as the center. Basically running through that left side and nothing in front of Dante Duragon there. The Wildcats are on the board, and the point after attempt by Mitch Horner is good. And so, with 4 minutes and 12 seconds left here in the first quarter, and again here on the replay here.
Untouched.
Yeah, pretty much untouched there. I think they will rule that as a one-play drive there for the Wildcats. It's 14-7 14-7 Penn Trafford. We'll be right back on the Wildcats Network.
Hello, my name's Steve Lamani, and I want to introduce you to the #1 real estate team in your area.
We pride ourselves in giving back to our community.
That's why we have this box truck to make the moving experience easier for our clients.
At Team Lamani, our clients always come first.
And we're here to help our clients reach new heights.
We keep track of every detail for you.
Thank you for trusting us with such an important job, and go Cats!
All right, we are back here at Warrior Stadium as Mitch Horner gets set to kick off the ensuing kickoff. If you're just joining us, Dante Duragon took it into the end zone to make this game 14-7 Penn Trafford, and Horner will kick a squib kick up the middle. It'll go through his legs. You got to get the Wildcats down there on the coverage. Don't let him get a seam. Bring him down, and they will. Just up over the 21-yard line as Penn Trafford will start their drive.
Do you want to take a guess who made that tackle there? We do have a flag at the 30.
I want to guess Dante Duragon.
That would be a very good guess because that is the correct guess there. Because if he doesn't make that tackle, there's pretty much a convoy of green grass in front of him and green jerseys in front of him. We also had a penalty there. I think it was a holding or a block in the back against the Warriors.
Yeah, we're moving it back.
So we're moving things back here to the Warrior 11-yard line.
The pendulum has swung here in Harrison City. And it seems like the Warriors have got the momentum that they need. Building that emotion we talked about, maybe a little less emotion this week, is doing them some good. It looks like Desmond is in a quarterback. He will hand to the big Grabowski, who will be stopped and brought down for just a small gain of 2, bringing up 2nd down and 8. Wanted to add on that touchdown run by Duragon. I think it was Wade Enoch who turned his guy in. It was almost like a zone block run where he turned him in.
That was Gammon
Owens, sorry. But he turned him in, and that really sprung the seam,
right.
And then Calabrese hit the block downfield.
Yeah, running behind that left side of the offensive line has been really key. I think all but one of those runs by Dante Duragon here in the first half have been on that left side.
Penn Trafford will take over. I believe that is Desmond, who will plow his way forward. And that is Grabowski again. Grabowski taking another snap. So we've got a three-headed quarterback Wildcat. I don't know what we want to call this offense that they're running.
Seems to be.
And Yakimelli will check in now. Grabowski will be behind him. And he will find a seam, and he will find open spaces as Cody Yakimelli will take this one all the way in for a Penn Trafford touchdown. Let's go back to the Team Lamani replay here.
81 yards on that run for Cody Yakimelli, showing shades of his older brother Cade, and just able to find this open lane. That's a really key block there.
Yep.
on Russell Fry.
Yeah, Robert Young didn't get off his block there, which caused the hole.
That was Travis Moorhead got the block there on Russell Fry. And yeah, no one's catching that.
No.
Sorry, no, sorry, but
that's he's got a bloodline.
Yep.
And Miller will kick, and that kick is up, and it is good. With 2:30 here left in the first half, it is Penn Trafford 21, Wildcats 7. We're going to take a quick break here on the Wildcat Network.
Some moments will be cherished forever. They shape who we become. We are Home Team Collections, your sports and graduation gift headquarters. And we honor these moments with the care and craftsmanship they deserve. Any team, any sport, any logo. Visit HomeTeamCollections.com today and save $10 off your first order.
All right, and we are back here at Harrison City with 2:30 left in the half. It is Penn Trafford 21, the Wildcats 7. And I think if you're Coach McIntyre, you probably want to take this ball, be your last possession, get the ball at half, but you want to get some points on the board with you. As the Wildcats will recover there and fall on it, a squib kick ball, and they will take over at the 25-yard line.
3 plays, 89 yards on that drive for the Warriors, capped off by the Cody Yakimelli 81-yard touchdown run. God, we got some fireworks going here in the late stages of the second quarter.
The Dante Durgon show has taken over in Harrison City as he will enter the game back again. Scarton will be the quarterback. They will hand to Durgon, and he will be met and brought down for a loss. A little maybe extracurricular there. I heard a whistle, but that will bring up a loss. It'll be 2nd and 12 for the Wildcats here as we come across 2 minutes in the half remaining.
Yeah, I think the Wildcats might want to make this their last possession here of the half, or last total possession here of the half. They do get the ball to begin the second half, so let's see if the Wildcats can at least try and get the ball moving down the field here a little bit.
Scarton will take. He will look downfield to Danny Noonan, and he will misfire as that pass will sail to his right, bringing up a 3rd and long. Well, we were hoping to take some clock and continue to move the ball, and now we're in jeopardy of giving the Warriors the ball back if we cannot convert here on this 3rd and 12.
Yeah, another scenario where the Wildcats are behind the sticks here. It's 3rd and 12.
Scarton will come back in. Eli Meter will go wide right. Sori Butina to him to his left. Danny Noonan out far. And there's Dante Durgon, who will take it, find a crease, and he will cut the sticks in half, move it up over the 30, a little more than half of where the original line of scrimmage. And that will be a timeout taken by the Warriors here. And that is our 2nd timeout here of the half for the Warriors. And that is brought to you by Arnold Palmer Regional Airport. Step up to hassle-free travel at Arnold Palmer Regional Airport. With friendly staff, no long lines, free parking, and direct flights every day. Fly direct, fly smart, fly Latrobe, where your journey begins stress-free. Well, Richard, here's the question. What do you do here?
I think the offense is staying out there.
I think you are correct.
It looks as if they are. There you see the Greater Latrobe Wildcat cheerleaders there, but earlier we saw the huddle of the offense. I would like it if they go for it, honestly. I would, just because in this type of game, the more you give it to the Penn Trafford Warriors, knowing what they can do on offense, I think you're going to be at a disadvantage, especially if you're not able to get stops defensively. You're just setting yourself back even more. And it looks like they are lining up to go for it here.
They are lining up. Butina will shift down. They will go strong to the left. Noonan at the top of your screen.
And how much do you, now you have to wonder if they're going to try and
want to
drop
take a look,
offside.
yeah. Well, they wanted to take a look at it as well. I think, see what they got. Latrobe, Coach McIntyre will take his first timeout of the half. And this timeout is brought to you by Home Team Collection. At Home Team Collections, your memories deserve the finest showcase. Handcrafted in the USA, our custom frames and display cases preserve and celebrate your achievements. From school colors to laser-cut logos, every detail is personalized just for you. And with free shipping on every order, framing your legacy has never been easier. Home Team Collections, where your memories live forever. That was my best Hulkamania that I could give you.
So it looks like the Wildcats are going to bring on Mitch Horner to punt this one away. There's 1:35 left here in the first half.
Is that back to receive for the...
I believe that is Nick Ponko back to receive.
Ponko is back to receive. Horner will kick away with 1:35 remaining in the half. The kick is away, and it looks like he will field it. The ball is dropped and is fumbled, but the Warriors, I believe Ponko himself, will recover that at the Warrior 34-yard line is where they will end up spotting the recovery.
I think we're witnessing the Dante Duragon breakout game here, because I think his mere presence alone just was able to force that muff there by Ponko. The Warriors did have two guys there, so they were able to fall on it, and it's going to be 1st and 10 at their own 34-yard line. And get this, Dante Duragon has 90 rushing yards here in the first half on 10 carries.
Wow. You know what's really impressed me about him is his vision. When he gets into that second level, he's just not keeping his head down, trying to plow forward. He's looking for the next hole to find. As Nate Desmond will keep, as after he drops back to pass. Little scrum down there. Didn't know if the ball maybe popped out at the end. But they will be in their 2-minute offense here, as Desmond likely will stay in his quarterback for the remainder here of this drive, unless we get a stoppage. But Desmond will take it. He will look downfield. He's still on his move. He's rolling out to his right and will fire away. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 1 for the Warriors here. Great job in the secondary by the Wildcats there.
And I think because the clock stops, it now opens up kind of a little bit of everything for the Warrior offense. You have the ability to just get that 1 yard there potentially, but also try and potentially spring one here. Who knows? I guess John Ruane knows, so that's a bad question to ask.
John Ruane, 1 timeout remaining in his pocket here in the half. They will motion, and they will give it to the big Grabowski, who will find a hole, and he will take it up over the 50-yard line to the 46, bringing up a Penn Trafford first down, but the clock will start ticking as soon as, there we go, the ball is set, so the clock is moving. Grabowski maybe wanted to try and get out of bounds there, though, as Desmond will take the first down snap. He will find time across the middle and right through Sawyer Butina's hands. But we do have a flag down in the backfield. Not sure if that will be a roughing.
It's going to be against the Warriors here.
There will be a hold, okay.
Yeah, hold against the Warriors here. And so it'll back the Warriors 10 yards up.
You want to take advantage of these situations, right? And they got moved back inside their own 10 after that kickoff, after the Duragon touchdown, and they let it slip out of their hands. You want to stop them here. This is a crucial stop, especially sitting here at 2nd and 20 with only 35 seconds remaining in the half.
And like you mentioned, the Warriors only with 1 timeout here. Desmond's going to go empty here, it looks like.
And he's got a clean pocket, but it collapsed on him, and he will be collapsed at about the 43-yard line. Clock still rolling. We have a 3rd and 17, or no, longer than that. I think we're 3rd and 23. They're going to get one more play out of this as the clock drops to 10. One last heave-ho across the middle. He'll find an open receiver, still on his feet, and the Warriors will bring him down at the 41, bringing up a 4th down. And Coach Ruane looks like he will take one final timeout of the half.
So that sack was credited to Connor Donahue. That is his first varsity sack on the season. That was a gain of about 16 there, I believe, for the Warriors, and it's going to be 4th and 5. The 42-yard line. I would imagine that this is one final heave to the end zone here from Desmond.
You know, one of my favorite plays that we used to run, it's called the 52 hitch and pitch. And I think one of the times we ran it was in one of these situations, right? It was end of the half, you're throwing deep into the end zone. Just a quick hitch, you suck the defense in, and then you pitch to the halfback coming out of the backfield, and to the house it went. So even though you're probably looking deep into the end zone, you still got to be aware and protect the middle, protect the underneath. Don't let anybody get behind you, whether with the ball or not.
So the Wildcats are only going to send 2 here. I believe that's Donahue and Gasky, the only 2 rushers for the Wildcats here now.
And that's the big Grabowski, who's going to give it to He-Ho. He will fire to the end zone and dropped. Nice play by the Wildcat defender just to bring it down to the ground. That will end our first quarter here from Penn Trafford. It is the Penn Trafford Warriors 21, Latrobe Wildcats 7, and we're going to take a quick commercial break here on the Wildcat Network.
City sounds of the Pink Panther. How you guys doing? Good? Now, prepare to get groovy as the band performs Soul Bossa Nova from Austin Powers. And band, your final mission, should you choose to accept it, is to beat the clock with a thrilling rendition of the theme for Mission Impossible. Okay, all right. We'll be back. We'll see you here. Military Park Net Marching Band is under the direction of Brian Checkeyes, Dean Peter, Dan McDonough, assisted by Jeff Jordan and Morgan Rockwell. The color guard is directed by Kate Richards with instructor Jessica Wilson. The drum line is directed by Anthony Sorenko. Student leaders include Austin Aikens, Steven Anderson, Lavanya Bates, Mackenzie Bloom, Henry Bradley, John Berrigan, Chelsea McClellan, Madison McLean, Jack O'Neill, Leah Olson, Ray Swiderski, Addison Wesson, and Ray Sportsman. The Great Detroit Park Net Marching Band will represent the WPIAL, School District Administration, and the Board of State Electors for their continued support of the arts. Let's do it one more time for the Great Detroit Wildcats V.S.
Major Zachary Conti, and the entire marching band class of 2026. Tonight, the marching band will present portions of its show entitled Choose Joy. The show begins with Beethoven's Ode to Joy and Mozart's Requiem, and concludes with Randall Standridge's Choose Joy. The Penn Trafford High School Music Department is proud to present drum major Zachary Conti and the 2025 Penn Trafford High School Marching Band performing portions of Choose Joy. for your kind attention. We hope that you enjoyed the show. The Penn Trafford High School Band would like to wish the staff and students of the Greater Latrobe High School Marching Band and the director, Mr. Ryan Checkeye, continued excellence and safe travels through the 2025 season. The marching band would like to wish a belated birthday to Color Guard member Gia Barlich.
I'm Chris Beddick, agent for State Farm Insurance, located conveniently on Route 981 here in Latrobe. We proudly offer auto, home, renters, life, and small business insurance since 2001. Need a good neighbor? Chris Beddick is there. Go Wildcats!
I'm proud to work with an organization that's known across the state, that's reputable. Adelphi is a place to have ample opportunities for promotion. There's nothing that Adelphi won't do for you personally and professionally. Come on in.
I am the swiftest creature alive. I can make it. I will make it.
That's where we come in. The Collision Shop by Jason Mignon is your one-stop shop for all things auto body repair. Our experienced technicians and state-of-the-art facilities have you covered. Body repairs, refinishing, glass replacement, and more. Our friendly office staff is happy to assist you through every step of your vehicle's repair process. Visit thecollisionshopbyjason.com for our complete list of services.
Hi, I'm Jason Brinker. This is my wife Hannah Brinker, our daughter Charlotte, and our son Stephen.
And we welcome you to Wildcats Brinker Funeral Home.
Located on the corner of Weldon Street and Lincoln Avenue, we've been family owned and operated and serving Latrobe and beyond since 1958. Whether you're pre-planning your own arrangements or celebrating a loved one's life well lived, we offer traditional and green burials, cremation, and aftercare services. Allow our family to walk with yours on one of life's most difficult journeys. We are most appreciative of your trust, and we will do our best to prove that we are where dignity prevails.
The Wildcats Student Store has the largest variety of clothing and merchandise you'll find anywhere, for any time of year. Shop in store or online and have your order shipped to you or picked up at the high school. Let's go, Cats!
It's over 15, it's over 20, up to their side, and it's a foot race. Listen.
All right, welcome back here. Welcome back here to Penn Trafford Warriors Stadium in Harrison City. Good now?
Yeah, you're
All
good.
right, we're back. We are here at Penn Trafford Warriors Stadium at halftime, and it is the Penn Trafford Warriors 21, the Wildcats 7 on the Wildcat Network. And Richard, it was a mixed bag of tricks there in the first half, some highs, some lows. But what did the numbers look like?
What did you tell me whenever I showed you these? You said, welcome back to the 1930s. Is that what you said?
I said the Steelers are celebrating 1933 this weekend, and it is fitting for these numbers that you were about to read off for us.
So the Warriors have the edge in passing yards, but they're 4 of 9 as a team for 30 yards passing. The Wildcats are 1 of 7 for 5 yards passing, but it's really been the running attacks for both of these teams that have gotten their offenses going. The Wildcats have 14 attempts for 92 yards, and the Warriors have 20 attempts for 235 yards. They're outgaining the Wildcats 265 to 97. Again, another week where the Wildcats are winning the turnover battle. They have a 1-0 turnover advantage on a Cash Ackhammer interception. The leading rusher for the Wildcats is Dante Duragun, who has 10 rushes for 90 yards, including his 12-yard touchdown run. For Penn Trafford, it is Cody Yakimelli with 7 rushes for 105 yards, including his 81-yard touchdown run. Nate Desmond, my apologies.
Not the baseball player.
No. 4 of 7 for 28 yards passing, and with 1 passing touchdown from 9 yards to Nick Ponko. And he does have an interception as well, but he also has 3 rush attempts for 18 yards including his 3-yard touchdown run. And Ben Grabowski has 8 rushes for 83 yards. So, again, a lot of chunk plays for the Warriors here, but I think also keep in mind a philosophy of the Wildcats is bend but don't break. They've bent really on one drive. It's really one drive that they bent on, and that was it. The other two are big. One's a big play, the other one's a short field. Kind of hard to assess that, but it's overall been, I guess apart from those drives, one where the Warriors are dictating play with what we expected up front.
Yeah, and that was a big concern. We talked a little bit at halftime. You know, just look at the size of the Penn Trafford Warriors offensive line to the size of the Wildcat line, and they've really held their own. They're not getting manhandled. They're not getting blown off the ball. It's just been a couple slips that they've had for big plays that, you know, the kick return, the 80-yard run by Yakimelli, that's been the difference. That's really been the difference in this ball game here as we are getting ready to kick off the second half, our final half of football for the Wildcats here this season, as Jack Miller will look to kick back. And there's our guy, Dante Duragon back there, I believe.
You would be correct.
Why not? Let's let him do everything. Let him be the gunner, the runner, the returner.
Yeah, I think he's back there with Eli Meter as well.
And there's the kick. It will be Meter who fields it. And he will be bottled up and taken down at about the Wildcat 24 as they will start their first drive here of the second half. And interested to see what the Wildcats will come out with. You know, there's always that first play of the half or first play after a long break or timeout that they really first play of the first half. They had Eli Meter wide open down the seam, just couldn't hit him. Let's see what Coach McIntyre's cooked up here to start our second half as Scarton will come in. Sori Butina goes in motion, and they will find Dante Duragon, and he will get forward for a few yards, bring up a second down. Not much room there to run for Dante Duragon.
Just a gain of 2 there for Dante on that play. Actually, just a gain of 1. They move it back a yard. One thing that stood out with me in this week's, when I talked with Coach McIntyre, it's about, you know, the one thing that they're looking forward to doing this week is playing one more football game together. And I think you're seeing a lot of intensity, at least in these moments where, you know, the game might get out of hand. They're not letting it get out of hand here so far in that first half.
And Meter will go in motion out into the flat. Scarton will look, and he will fire downfield to Sori Butina, and he will be underthrown on that one with 2 Warrior defenders on him. He might have had Meter there in the flat for a nice little gain, but it will fall incomplete, bringing up a 3rd and 9.
Yeah, trying to hit a big play in the passing game for the Wildcats. Nothing doing there. Again, here you go, another 3rd and long here for the Wildcats. Something that, again, has not been their friend this year.
Big Robert Young will check in at tight end on the right. We got Trips to the left. Scarton in. Duragon will be his mate in the backfield. Scarton will look deep, and he will find him. He's got to step on him, but he will not. Eli Meter will not be able to reel that one in for a big play for the Wildcats, and that'll bring up a 4th and 9 for the Wildcats as the punt team and Mitch Horner will take the field on their first possession.
All things look like this is going to be the Wildcats' 5th punt of the night. They've already matched their total from a week ago.
They have the opportunities. The opportunities have been there.
Yeah. It's and again, it's kind of just a work in progress to kind of see what works there.
Low snap, and it will get blocked. And Penn Trafford will scoop it up. And that will be a net of about 7 yards punt after the block by the Warriors. And Penn Trafford will take over at the Wildcat 31 to start their first possession here in the second half.
They are going to start at about the 32, and it's actually not the best field position for the Warriors tonight. It's their second best. They started at the 19 to begin the game of the Wildcats. So here you go. The Warriors get the block punt, and they're in business to start the second half.
And Desmond will take the snap, and he will hand it to the big Grabowski, who will rumble his way. And he's still on his feet as the pile will push him for a gain of about 8 there, bringing up a second and short for the Warriors.
The pile just continued to move there, Jared. Again, Grabowski's legs continued to churn. There's a reason why he's one of the best, not just in the section, but in 5A as well.
And 625 yards coming into the night for Grabowski.
He's got 91 now at this point in the game.
And Penn Trafford will likely rely on their run game here, as Desmond will hand off to Grabowski, and he will get another 8 or 9, picking up the Warrior first down, as he will be brought down around the 17-yard line of the Wildcats.
Grabowski now 97 yards on 10 carries here. Picks up a Warrior first down on 2 plays.
You know, so far this drive, it's been a lot of gashing with Grabowski.
How about that, a little
shift?
Yeah.
And Yakimelli will be the quarterback, as he will try and find a hole. He does find a seam, and he will slither his way before pushing forward for about a gain of 6 on the play.
Interesting formation there. It was kind of like a full house formation there for the Warriors. They send all 3 backs that were in there right to the front of the line. So in that scenario, you just know that Cody Yakimelli is just waiting to kind of see how things progressed on the offensive line and then just be able to cut through the hole there. That's pretty much what he did on his touchdown run there.
And his quickness, I mean, he sits there, he reads, he's patient, he finds the hole, and then he drives through, and that's what he did right there. As they will take the second down snap, and we might have a illegal shift.
Yeah, we do have
false start.
Yeah, false start here. It's going to be a second down at about 9 here.
That'll help the Warriors here if they can hold them. Won't be the second and short that we thought.
And again, see if the Wildcats can keep them here in this 9-yard range here, knowing that Jack Miller did miss his first field goal, albeit from 49 yards out. So we'll see here if they can try and limit them to that potentially distant field goal.
Desmond will go 2 backs in the backfield with him, and he will hand off to Grabowski. He will get a gain of 4, 5 on the play. So he'll get that penalty back for the Warriors, but that'll bring up a third down and 5 here for the Warriors. Grabowski will stay in. Desmond will come in as the quarterback of record. You called him Ian Desmond. I want to keep calling him Nate Yarnell for some reason. Old Pitt quarterback from a few years ago. But
Grabowski's going to go out here.
Desmond will be alone in the backfield. He has Grabowski open in the flat, but he's looking downfield. And he will find an open receiver for the first down, I do believe. See where they spot him with the forward progress. He kind of came back on his own. It wasn't that he was pushed back. That will set up the first down and goal from the, looks like they'll spot it at the 7-yard line.
There was a gain of about 8 there. I think that was Ponko making the catch there for the Warriors, and it'll be first and goal here for Penn Trafford. This is their 5th play of the drive.
Yakimelli will come in to take the snap. Grabowski will behind him. Grabowski will motion out into the flat, and Yakimelli will keep, and he will find the end zone for his second score of the evening here. That is Cody Yakimelli, who will make it Penn Trafford 27, Latrobe 7. left in the third quarter.
Here's the Team Lamani Realty 1 Group replay. Grabowski goes out, so you pretty much know that Cody Iacomelli is just going to take this himself. Able to sneak through the Chris Cochran tackle, able to break that one as trying to bring him down by the shoes, and pretty much falling into the end zone goes Iacomelli for the extra point there is good, and so it is 28-7 in favor of the Warriors here, and with 7:22 left here in the third quarter. We'll take a break here on the Wildcats Network. We'll be right back on the Wildcats Network.
Hi, I'm Matthew Alamo, the McDonald's owner here in Latrobe, and we are striving to be leaders in the community for fundraising for schools and nonprofits. So come on in for Digital Days at McDonald's and support these local organizations. While you're here, have a tasty meal and check out the great benefits for employment. Go Wildcats!
And we are back here after the Penn Trafford score on their first touchdown. Here to start the second half for them to make it Penn Trafford 28, Latrobe 7. And Richard, on that drive there, Penn Trafford really had their way and ran at will on the short field nonetheless, but to give them their fourth touchdown here this evening.
Yeah, and they were able to convert on the, looked like Nate Desmond got hit on that third down pass, so they were able to get that one as well. Here's a little short kick here for the Warriors, and I think the Wildcats were able to fall on this one here.
I thought they fell on it, but then as he fell on it, he got hit. I mean, he should be ruled down. Penn Trafford's saying they got it, and the officials do give it to him. Let's take a look at that on the Lamani replay here. I believe the Wildcats fell on it, and then he was hit after. So if he falls on it, he gains possession. His knee is down. He's down.
That was Zachary Crawl there that I think it bounced away from him.
But watch here. Does he get possession?
I don't.
Right there.
I think that's why I don't think he ever had full possession there, because I think you can see that he's trying to reach for that ball with his left hand. And a bad break for the Wildcats. It's going to be 1st and 10 Warriors at the Wildcat 30 here.
We got bunches to the left. And Desmond looks, he fires, he finds an open receiver. And he will be brought down inside the Wildcat 20. On the catch there was number 3, Nico Cassiato. That's fun to say.
12 yards there for Cassiato, and it's a first down for the Warriors here. Trying to put the pedal to the metal here in the second half.
So the Warriors pick up another first down here to start their drive. And it will be Iacomelli in a quarterback alone. We got trips to the right. And he will roll to the right. He will fire and throw. He'll find a receiver. And that is caught by number 33, Landon Stickle, for the Penn Trafford touchdown. And that'll take it to 34 for the Warriors and 7 for the Wildcats. Let's take a look at this at the Team Lamani replay.
Well, half the times here, I think you'd think of Cody Iacomelli to run the ball here, but that time steps up. He actually had 2 receivers really in the same area there, Stickle. And I think Briggs was also in the area there. And able to just go in. Some good blocks in front. That was actually Ponko, I believe, making the block there. Jack Miller adds in the extra point, and it's 35-7 Penn Trafford here. That quickly, the Warriors take what was a 14-point lead and make it 28. We'll be right back here on the Wildcats Network.
Hello, my name's Steve Lamani, and I want to introduce you to the #1 real estate team in your area.
We pride ourselves in giving back to our community.
That's why we have this box truck to make the moving experience easier for our clients.
At Team Lamani, our clients always come first.
And we're here to help our clients reach new heights.
We keep track of every detail for you.
Thank you for trusting us with such an important job, and go Cats!
And we are back here after the second touchdown for the Penn Trafford Warriors here in the second half. just under halfway through the third quarter, things have really taken a turn for the Wildcats. 2 touchdowns in under 6 minutes for the Warriors, Richard.
And more importantly, 2 touchdowns, 14 points in a matter of 47 seconds as well for the Warriors.
Durgon will take the kick. He will get up over the 20 before met by a Warrior, and he will be brought down at the 21-yard line of the Wildcats. And they'll bring up first down. You want to see, I think right now, Richard, those flashes of the run game that we saw in the first half. You want to get momentum. You can't get 28 points back in 2 minutes. So you got to start working at it and chipping it away.
Durgon is going to stay the back here with Scarton.
Scarton will hand to Durgon. He will try and find the edge, but he will be brought down as he fought back to the initial line of scrimmage, the 21, and that looks like they will actually mark him for a loss of 1 on that play.
Yeah, that time the left side of the Warriors defensive line with Jacob Briggs making the play there. Along with 75, Marlo Robinson in there for the Warriors there, and it's going to set the Wildcats behind the 6 here, 2nd and 12.
Scarton will get back Durgon to his side. Scarton will look downfield. He will find a receiver, but he will overthrow Sawyer Butina. And that will bring up a third down. Another overthrow by Scarton. Butina looked to have a half a step on his coverage there as well.
Yeah, and I think the one thing when you look at those, the receivers are getting open. It's just a matter of balancing, kind of putting the ball in harm's way, and also accuracy, I think, as well. So that's kind of been a struggle for the Wildcats here, regardless of who their quarterbacks have been. It's kind of been, how do we keep the ball out of harm's way, but also knowing that we need some completions through the passing game as well.
Wildcats will go 4 wide with Ackhammer in at the back. Scarton will look to roll, and he will be brought down as he maybe back just to the line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of a half a yard there to bring up a 4th down for the Wildcats. And that will bring on the punt team and Mitch Horner. It's punt away. This will be the 6th punt of the half, Richard, if we're counting.
Not the half of the game.
Of the game, sorry.
Of the game here for the Wildcats.
It feels like the half.
Yeah. Yeah, another 3 and out for the Wildcat offense here. Horner back for his 6th punt of the night.
And Horner will get this one away after the last one being blocked. That ball will take a bounce up over the 50-yard line before the Wildcats will stop it at the Penn Trafford 48-yard line. You really wanted to have at least good field position, move the ball somewhat. You can't keep giving this Warrior offense short fields, and they've really shown an ability to run the ball here in the second half. You got to plug the holes and stop the bleeding here.
Yeah, I know that the Warriors got off to a kind of a slow start, but we're seeing now here in the late stages of the second quarter and early third quarter, they're going to be a handful in the playoffs for whoever gets them.
Desmond will fire across the middle just high of his intended receiver. That was intended for Colton Tyberski, number 2. And that'll bring up a 2nd and 10 for Penn Trafford. Interesting to go to the pass there, especially seeing the success of the run that has happened here in the last 7 minutes.
I think they're trying to work through some things here on offense, knowing that, obviously they are a run-heavy team, and they have been for years, but, they're prepping for a playoff game this week. I know this game, in a sense, doesn't necessarily matter as far as standings-wise, but it matters for seeding. It matters for who you might face. You might have to be able to throw the ball at times.
And Ponko will go left, but they will hand off to Grabowski, and Grabowski will find the edge over on the far sideline. He will pick up about 13 yards. That's another Warrior first down. Yeah, Richard, to your point, I agree. They probably want to get some momentum, get some juice flowing on that pass game. You're not going to play the big boys in 5A without a dual threat.
Right.
And I think, looking back at last week's game for Penn Trafford, they started out slow there, and then they really kicked it up and turned it on. In the second half, it seems to be maybe their MO here for this team.
2 backs here for Desmond.
Desmond will play action, throwing deep and incomplete. Nice coverage there on the play. I believe that was Danny Noonan. We get a Lamani replay on this one.
Yeah, this is a good job here by Danny Noonan. Again, with the 2 backs here, little play action. As you can see, there's only one route there, so everyone at the line's blocking. I'll be honest here, I don't think one-on-one coverage against Danny Noonan's a very good idea, but that's just my opinion. Very well covered.
And that's their number one. That's Ponko, who's their leading receiver.
That's best on best right there.
Yep.
Danny Noonan with the win there.
And Desmond will come in. They will motion out to the left. They will hand to Yakimelli, who will gain about 5. One of the first times I think we've seen Desmond and Yakimelli in at the same time, and Yakimelli taking the handoff from Desmond.
Yeah, normally we're seeing Yakimelli as the quarterback there, not necessarily as the running back. Although Yakimelli has played running back before here, so they're used to it here in Harrison City.
Older brother with the Wisconsin Badgers. They're having some struggles up there in Madison this year.
Yeah, it's been a rough one for them this year.
And Desmond will sit in the pocket, but he will be chased out. The Wildcats try and get him. And that pass will be incomplete to number 2, Colton Tybierski. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and 5 for the Warriors. Nice rush there to collapse the pocket and make Desmond feel a little uncomfortable.
There you go. The Wildcats have the Warriors in a 4th and 5. Trying to see if they can get a stop here and maybe get their best field position of the second half.
And it will be Desmond in at quarterback. The big Grabowski behind him. He will step up and he will throw across the middle, incomplete. Turnover on downs. And that pass was broken up there by Clayton Burkett, making a big play for the Wildcats on a crucial 4th down.
You're going to see it here on the Team Lamani Realty 1 Group replay. It's a great play by Clayton Burkett. He's going to want to go to Nick Ponko right here and believe. Oh no, he's actually going to go right there. Good play there by Burkett to break that up.
And a nice play for him to go straight for the ball. He didn't go through the receiver. He made a nice play on the ball. As Duragon will find some space, he will get his longest carry of the second half here. A gain of 9. And the Wildcats are going to try and get back into that run game business again.
Like you said, gain of 9 for Duragon. Sets up a nice breath of fresh air there. 2nd and 1.
2nd and 1, I believe, speaking of 1, are we 1 yard away from a Duragon 100 yards?
He's got 97 here, so
97.
I got to wait 3 more.
All right. Scarton will throw across the middle, pass just high, and out of the hands of Aaron Gasky. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
Yeah, a little high on the throw there. And you know, it's tough because you want to put the ball up there to your big 6'2" H-back there, but it's, again, just a little bit of a miss there from the Wildcats there, and it's
a little softer touch may have done the duty. And we're going to go I formation. Scarton will go under center, and there it is. There's the tush push. And it will take it up over the 1st down, and that's up over the marker for a 1st down, and that is a Wildcat 1st down here in the second half.
Well, good to see Dom taking that play up the middle there for the Wildcats. He was a little bit shaken up after getting that 1-yard run that he got on the last drive. So it was a change for the Wildcats, and see if they can get something going on offense here.
They're going to go back to that I formation. Scarton will go under center. Gasky, the fullback, leading the way for Durgon, who he will fight his way for an extra gain of 2 there, for a total gain of 5. And that will take him over the century mark here this evening in Harrison City. Dante Durgon, 100 yards on the evening.
I think you're seeing, again, I mentioned this earlier, you're seeing a glimpse of the Wildcat future here as far as the backfield. And again, you're seeing a lot of this offensive line here doing a good job here. Notice here that Lucas Collins has moved, pretty sure, to the left side here.
Durgon will take. He'll try and cut it up. He will probably fight back to the line of scrimmage for no gain, bringing up a 3rd down.
It's a 3rd and 5 for the Wildcats, and we touched on it a little bit about Penn Trafford and getting them to the playoffs. I think last year's meeting against the Wildcats really helped them because they played a close defensive game against the Wildcats a year ago. So what did? They put up 49 points in their first round game against the South Fayette Lions, 49-28. So
the Wildcats will go spread them out here. Pistol spread formation. Scarton will take the snap, and he will pump, but he will lose the ball as well, and the Warriors will fall on it for a fumble recovery. I believe that is Briggs, the big defensive leader and heart and soul of this Warrior team, as the Warriors take over possession in Wildcat territory.
Here's the Team Lamani Realty One Group replay. Again, it just not a lot open tonight. And again, there you see that the good protection there in front is what it looked like, and there you see the pocket kind of collapse on Dom. You'd like to see you'd like to see Dom be able to hold onto that football and just eat the sack. It's 1st and 10 for the Warriors here.
Desmond will take the snap. He will hand off to number 4, Alex Nicolette, who will take it all the way down to the 1, just shy of the goal line. We do have some laundry, though, back around the 22-yard line. And I think we're going to walk this one back.
I believe you are correct, Jared. And it is a holding against the Warriors, so 10 yards from the spot of the foul. So take that big gain off the board. 20 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter.
This will bring up an unusual 1st and 5 based on where that flag was at. Desmond will bring the play in.
I think they're gonna let this go to the end of the quarter here at Warrior Stadium.
And at the end of the 3rd quarter, it's Penn Trafford 35, Wildcats 7 on the Wildcat Network.
Creature alive. I can make it. I will make it.
That's where we come in. A Collision Shop by Jason Mignon is your one-stop shop for all things auto body repair. Our experienced technicians and state-of-the-art facilities have you covered. Body repairs, refinishing, glass replacement, and more. Our friendly office staff is happy to assist you through every step of your vehicle's repair process. Visit thecollisionshopbyjason.com for our complete list of services.
Use a tradition of community-focused service. With modern facilities and technology, they remain committed to dependable, compassionate care, where dignity prevails at Lepatich Brinker Funeral Home.
Well, that was a wild third quarter, Richard.
Yeah, Warriors pretty much had their way in terms of the running game. And they're going to start here again with the very conventional 1st and 5.
And that handoff was back to number 4, Alex Nicolette, who seems to be getting some churn here late into the second half. He takes that handoff from Desmond. And that will bring up, he will pick up a Warrior first down at the Wildcat 27-yard line. Desmond stays in. It will send the tight end in motion. He will hand off. We'll find number 36, Orlando Diorio. Sorry, that was number 35, Nico Cox on the carry. He will gain 5, bring up a 2nd and 5 for the Warriors. Desmond will stay in, and it will be Nicolette in the backfield, and he will take the handoff. He will find a hole and a seam, taking it close to the Wildcat 12-yard line, and that's another first down for the Penn Trafford Warriors. Richard, they are really getting the run. They're getting them on the run, and they're going to go, go, go.
Yeah, I think the message clearly was we want to dictate play here on the ground here in the second half, and they've done that for the most part.
Nicolette back in at the running back position. Tight end motion left again. Looks like the same play, but this time the Wildcats will snuff it out. And I don't know if Nicoletti will end up getting any on that one. Maybe a gain of 2, it looks like.
I want to see this replay here on this play because one of the more underrated stories of the entire second half of this season has been the emergence of Dom Angelicchio at the outside linebacker play. Watch this play here. Nicoletti's going to take this. He's going to bounce this. Well, no, he's not, because Dom Angelicchio undercuts this right here, and he makes a very sure tackle.
Great read by Angelicchio there on that play. And Desmond will keep on the option read. And he will gain, we'll split the sticks there. They'll bring up a 3rd and 6, it seems.
Ty Wisniewski in on the tackle there for the Wildcats, and it's going to bring up, like you said, about a 3rd and 6, 3rd and about, we'll call it 6, a long 5, I think is what they're going to call it.
Desmond will stay in at the quarterback position. They will have 3 wide. Motioning to the left. They will hand off, and they will get the first down, and rumbling his way into the end zone is Nico Cox. That will put 41 on the board for the Warriors here with 8:55 remaining in the ball game.
Here on the Team Lamani Realty One Group replay. Desmond taking the snap here, as you see there. The man in motion for the Warriors, that was Will Sarsfield. Able to get past Cochran there, able to break that tackle, and
you got turned around. What a center of gravity there to stay on his feet, bounces off another tackle.
Bounces off 3 tackles there. Burkett and Angelicchio couldn't bring Cox down. That's an 8-yard touchdown run for Cox. He had a touchdown run last week, and it's the extra point being attempted here. I think they stopped the extra point as replay was going on, so extra point is good. And so with 8:55 left here at Warrior Stadium, it is 42-7 in favor of Penn Trafford. We'll take a break here on the Wildcats Network and be right back.
Skip the chaos. Fly direct from Latrobe and start your getaway the smart way. Fly Latrobe. Fly direct. Fly smart. Why deal with the hassle of big city airports and connecting flights? At All Palmer Regional Airport in Latrobe, we make travel simple. Enjoy free parking right by the terminal, quick check-ins, and no long lines. All on a relaxed, easy-to-navigate airport. But the best part? You've got non-stop flights to sunny Orlando and Myrtle Beach every day. Plus, enjoy convenient twice-weekly service to Fort Lauderdale. No layovers, no stress.
And we are back here in the fourth quarter as Penn Trafford kicking off to the Wildcats. I believe that was Eli Meter who took it up over the 25 before being brought down by some Warriors at the 27. We have 8:48 remaining here in the Wildcats season. And you really want to see them, I think, Richard, move the ball.
Yeah.
And get some points.
Yeah, I think the one thing that should be the final goal of the final 8:40 is to play really good here in these final 8:30 here as we are in the mercy rule now at Warrior Stadium. Ty Wisniewski's in at quarterback for the Wildcats.
And Wisniewski will keep before being lifted off his feet after a nice gain. Ty Wisniewski will pick up about 8 yards there, bringing up a 2nd and 2.
Yeah, and I thought we might have seen more of Ty Wisniewski here tonight. Obviously, the Wildcats have gone with the traditional running back as far as getting their offense there. But I think Ty Wisniewski just brings a whole different dimension for the Wildcats here as far as being able to assess the read options. And I think he's grown as a passer throughout the year. He's gotten more experience as a passer, and that really bodes well here going into what will be his senior season next year.
Wisniewski will keep and roll out, and he will find a seam, and he will take it up to the 48-yard line of the Wildcats, picking up a first down. And Richard, just real quick to add on to what your point said about the read option, that's been the success here tonight. It's been the shifty, smaller backs finding holes, finding creases, gaining yards. Durgon and Wisniewski both.
Yeah, 2 plays, 2 Ty Wisniewski runs. That time just a simple read option. That was the first play there. You see take a little bit of a spill there, but he's perfectly fine, trust me.
Durgon will be Ty's sidecar to his left. We have trips over to the left. And he will hand to Durgon, who will find a seam, and he will gain about 9, be close to a Wildcat first down. We'll see where they will mark it a first down, gain a 10 for Dante Durgon.
I'll tell you what, I know what the score is, but for a young team like the Wildcats have, especially with 4 or 5 offensive linemen going to be back next year, and obviously Durgon's going to be back in the fold. Meter's going to be back in the fold next year. Wisniewski and Scarton are going to be back next year. These are meaningful moments here for the final portion of the season, knowing that this is your last taste of what to experience before you head into next season.
And Wisniewski will take and hand off to Durgon, who will fight for 2 yards there. He was stopped at the line, but then kept those little legs going as he picks up 2, bringing up 2nd and 8 for the Wildcats.
He's now got 17 carries for 114 yards for Dante Durgon.
You also forgot in mentioning the youth of this team and with the running back position, you've got to think A.J. Yeboah is coming back.
Yeah, A.J. Yeboah.
You could have a real your own thunder and lightning.
Right.
Wisniewski staying in at quarterback. They will go 3 wide to the right. Durgon in his sidecar. He will take the snap. He will fake, and Wisniewski will keep, and he will gain about 10 yards, picking up another Wildcat first down. Here we go. We're on the run, Richard.
That's back-to-back 12-yard runs for Ty Wisniewski. And again, just another simple read option play there for Ty. As, kind of a RPO, kind of a read option kind of play there, because you could see, he's got those baseball intangibles as well.
That Wisniewski family is a heavy baseball team. I know that for a fact.
So he can sling it like a shortstop out there to the outside for those RPO plays. Got to be careful for all things with Ty.
And they will hand to Durgon. He will find some space. He will rumble over. What a run by Dante Durgon before being brought down. And they are in the red zone. Another first down for the Wildcats.
That's another 10-plus yard play there. 16 yards on that carry for Duragon. 130 for him on the night now. Really making himself known here in this game. Wind down under 4:45 left here in the fourth quarter of play.
Wisniewski comes in, Duragon behind him. Two tights. Butina goes in motion in. Wisniewski will keep. He will fire to the end zone to find big Robert Young for a touchdown. And that is a touchdown, Cats.
We're going to see this here on the Team Lamonti Realty One Group replay. This is really nice to see for Robert Young. Look at that. Look at that handle there by Ty Wisniewski. And Robert Young just sneaks through. Wide open.
Happy for that kid right there.
Happy for him to get the touchdown there. And so Horner's extra point is good. And so with 4:26 left, the Wildcats add another touchdown here in the fourth quarter. It's 42-14 here. We'll be right back on the Wildcats Network.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood to stop at Hotel Loyal Pizza in the heart of downtown Latrobe on Ligonier Street. Since opening our doors in 1953, Hotel Loyal Pizza has proudly served the Latrobe area. From pizza, sandwiches, sides, salads, and so much more. Whether you're taking out or dining in, our menu has something for everyone. As if the company here wasn't enough to stop in, try one bite of our highly acclaimed pizza and you're sure to be hooked. Visit our website at hotelloyalpizza.com or call us at 724-537-3741. Go Cats! It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood to stop at Hotel.
And we are back here at Penn Trafford Warriors Stadium with the Wildcats scoring their second touchdown of the evening to bring it to 42-14. Penn Trafford still in the lead. Mitch Horner will get ready to kick off, and Richard, on that, you read optioned him the whole way down the field for about 50 yards, and surprise onside, it's still alive, but the Wildcats will recover. The Warriors will recover. That's the Coach T special surprise onside that we've seen much throughout this season. It's not becoming a surprise anymore, is it?
Well, I think teams have watched film and at this point. So, well, I'm happy to see Robert Young find the end zone for the first time this season. He's been really finding himself defensively over the course of the past couple of weeks, and you know he had some big plays defensively last week in order to give the Wildcats a chance.
Yep. Yeah, he was brought the safety down in the end zone, which then started the wildness of that last 6 minutes of play. The Warriors will take over possession here at the 41-yard line. And the quarterback will keep there, and he will find a gain of about 8. That was number 4, Alex Nicoletti. Now he's in at quarterback. He was taking the running back snaps. That's what threw me off. He was taking the running back snaps last drive. They're interchangeable there. Even Grabowski was making throws tonight.
Well, I think he's taken the quarterback power position from Cody Akamelli. That's a gain of 8 there for Nicoletti, and it'll bring up second down and 2.
Well, that actually, Richard,
I take that back.
There was a flag there.
Hidden flag.
We were looking down, and that play will be backed up, a 10-yard hold, bringing up a 1st and 15 for the Warriors.
See what happens when you're in the bird's nest.
And the handoff will be given. He might have gained 1 yard at most there. And that was Cal Doty. We'll call him Doty.
Okay. I think he was in at quarterback for the Warriors there.
Not spelled the same as Kristen Doty from the popular show Vanderpump Rules, Richard.
I wouldn't know. I'm too young.
You got to get on that Bravo train. The Warriors will take over here at second down, 15. Little high snap there. Handoff to Nicoletti, who will be swarmed by a pack of Wildcats.
And that time Anthony Lawson in at quarterback for the Warriors.
No relation to, never mind, that was Len Dawson. I'm thinking of, back to our old school football references.
Okay.
2:23 remaining here in the ball game. 42-14 Warriors as the clock ticks down. And now I confused myself with Dawson, and it's Lawson who will stay in at Anthony Lawson will stay in at quarterback for the Warriors. There's a snap and the give. Gain about 3 there for the Warriors. I believe that was Coletti again. That'll bring up a 4th down and 12 or 13.
And I think it's going to be about 13 there for Warriors. I think they're going to see if they decide to go for it here, or if they're just going to.
I think they might just run the clock down to the.
Just run the clock down here
to the minute.
Again, I think if you're looking to take away things from tonight's game, I think the Wildcats hung in there in the first half, but then it really was the third quarter take hold by the Warriors with their offensive line, their physicality, their running game. And I think we knew going in that would be a challenge. If the Wildcats wanted to stay in this game, they were going to have to find a way to at least contain that to a certain degree. And I think we see tonight why the Warriors might be one of those teams that could surprise in November, rather.
Yeah, and one thing the Wildcats didn't do the second half also is protect the football.
Yeah,
that was their big downfall here in the second half, is the inability to keep the football and protect it. Real quick here, we do have a timeout, and this first timeout of the second half is brought to you by the Collision Shop. Auto accidents are stressful enough. Let the Collision Shop by Jason Mignona take it from here. Specializing in collision repair for all makes and models, we work hand in hand with you and your insurance company to deliver top quality repairs done right and on time. The Collision Shop, making a tough situation hassle-free. So we'll be 4th down here. The Warriors will go for it, and they will do a bootleg out to the right, and the Wildcats will swarm him. That is Chris Cochran on the sack. I'm sorry.
That was Joey Favada making.
Yeah, that was not Chris Cochran
on the sack there for the Wildcats.
And the Wildcats.
Look at all that bunch there. I think they caught the Wildcats maybe by surprise by trying to get that, but they didn't fool. Joey Favada comes in relatively unblocked there, and
Favada, great pursuit on that play to make the sack. And we got 45 seconds here remaining in the ball game.
Drew Blossey's in at quarterback for the Wildcats here, with Duragon as the back.
Blossey will take the low snap. Duragon will go out in front, but he will be a blocker. Blossey will take it and gain a 3. I don't know if we'll get one more in. I don't think we may not. We'll see if they want to get one more play in. As we tick down inside 20 seconds.
And we'll see here, there's 7 seconds left, and they do not announce the game.
That will be the final here from Harrison City at Penn Trafford Warriors Stadium. It is the Penn Trafford Warriors 42, the Latrobe Wildcats 14. We're going to take a quick break here on the Wildcat Network, and we'll put a bow on it when we come back on the Wildcat Network.
State Farm Insurance, located conveniently on Route 981 here in Latrobe. We proudly offer auto, home, renters, life, and small business insurance since 2001. Need a good neighbor? Chris Beddick is there. Go Wildcats!
I'm proud to work with an organization that's known across the state that's reputable. Adelphi is a place to have ample opportunities for promotion. There's nothing that Adelphi won't do for you personally and professionally. Come on in.
I am the swiftest creature alive. I can make it. I will make it.
That's where we come in. A Collision Shop by Jason Mignon is your one-stop shop for all things auto body repair. Our experienced technicians and state-of-the-art facilities have you covered. Body repairs, refinishing, glass replacement, and more. Our friendly office staff is happy to assist you through every step of your vehicle's repair process. Visit thecollisionshopbyjason.com for our complete list of services.
And welcome back here to Penn Trafford Warriors Stadium, as that is a wrap on the season for the Wildcats as they fall to the Warriors 42-14 on a brisk, chilly night from the Eagles' nest. And Richard, I think, we can't think of coming into the season, new head coach, Coach Ron, leading this team, leading the Wildcats to 3 straight playoff appearances, and then coming in, losing a big senior class. Take us through the last 3 years, if you could, and as we move forward, look into the future.
Well, think about what you're losing as far as as you see, he's on screen there, Coach. I still call him Coach Boomer Brady. That's always what I'll call him. But think about what you're losing as far as head coach. 20-15 overall record, which might not sound impressive, but it's one of the best records among overall records among Greater Latrobe coaches. He made the playoffs 3 straight years, which has never been done in program history. He got the Wildcats their first playoff win since 1968 back in 2022 at Highlands. His playoff record is 2-3. He's coached in the most playoff games in program history with 5. He's got the most WPIAL playoff wins in program history with 2. That's what you're missing as far as, and that's what you're losing when you lose a great man like Coach Brady. It's I think it was a challenging season for the Wildcats this year, and I think we knew that, again, you have to play into the factor. Does Andy Tash's injury play into a big part of it? I would assume that it does. You don't want to lose him, especially 6 days prior to the season like the Wildcats did. But a lot of just results that they found themselves on the wrong end, especially in the second half of the season. And unfortunately, they ended losing 6 straight to end the season, and they're going to have to try and end that streak going into next year.
Yeah, and I think, we talked about a little in the beginning in the pre-show, the building blocks to move forward, right? We talked about the young offensive line that they have that have now gained experience here, and we saw that tonight. The run game was successful. Tonight was the Dante Durgon coming out party. He's a freshman. He's
right.
Coming back. You rattled through. Ty Wisniewski, Dom Scarton, all coming back. Eli Meter coming back. A.J. Yeboah also missed some time this season, who was their leading rusher after Tash went out with his injury. He goes out with injury.
Right.
So trying to find the right blend was a tough task. And, we talked about it too. The scoreboard, what the scoreboard looked like, wasn't a very good example of how this team played.
Right.
They were in these games, just little things here and there. There were opportunities there. They just couldn't get across the doorstep. Now you want to take a building block, put it on that doorstep, and going into 2026, you want to take that next step.
Right. And I'll say this. It's tough when you lose a coach like Ron Brady, but I have no doubt in my mind that Tom McIntyre is the right man to lead this team, because there were so many games where, yes, the scores look bad, but the fight was always there. Like, there's no denying that this team would always fight for Coach McIntyre, and I think they would fight for each other. It was just they found themselves, struggling on offense, kind of like they did in the second half of last year. I think if the Wildcats want to at least get back into the playoff conversation next year and find themselves in the win column next year, they got to find a way to get better on the offensive end, and I think they have the personnel to do it as well.
Yeah, you lose, not to dismiss the senior class either, right? You do lose some of your big players, Cochran, Ackhammer. We saw the great play that was made by Danny Noonan on that coverage against their number one receiver here tonight.
Yeah, and you're missing two. You're going to lose two of your three top receivers from this year as well. So, the onus will be on Eli Meter. The onus will be on some of these younger players to step up into bigger receiving roles. I think we saw a lot. I liked a lot of what I saw to Aaron Gasky this year, more so on defense is what he started at, but the more he grew on offense, I think the more we liked. I think you're going to see a lot, over the course of the next 10 months, really. You're going to see a lot of growth from these players, not just, the juniors now into seniors, but you're going to see a lot of growth from these players that got time this year into next year.
And I think the big story, the big takeaway tonight, we touched on, we've been talking about him all night, Dante Durgon. He finished with 130 yards on the ground against a Penn Trafford team that is stout up front. They're big up front. They want to dominate you on both sides of the line. Take that with you. Take that into your off-season workouts. Take that with you into the weight room. You take that with you into your passing camps. Everything that you're going to do from now until next August, you take that with you. You remember, we had a running back that ran for 130. Ty Wisniewski had another, I don't know, what did he have? What did he finish with, 70 yards?
They're 33 on just three carries. Three carries, really all in that last drive.
Right. There's positives to take out of here. I don't have any doubt that this team is going to come back hungry. They're young. At the high school level, you got to remember, too, these freshmen, these sophomore linemen that are playing, they're going to get bigger.
Right.
They're going to mature. You talk about sometimes the saying is, you can never beat Father Time, right? Father Time's going to help this Wildcat team next year and come back bigger, stronger, and better. All right, we're going to take one. We're done.
I think we're done.
You want to end it? Okay. Yeah. All right, Richard. Well, thank you again, everyone, for
I don't want to end it. I think the bird's nest, I think, is closing down here tonight.
Well, it's getting a little chillier up here in the bird's nest, but from the bird's nest, once again, the Penn Trafford Warriors 42, Latrobe Wildcats 7 on this final game of the 2025 season. Thank you for listening on the Wildcat Network.